There, we have our MVP for this match, which was Emo on the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, definitely deserving. Diving the fountain, diving out of the fountain. Like, you give Emo, TA, Storm, even the puck, it feels like he is controlling the game. You don't have to necessarily rely only on the carry. Fly did exceptionally well on the troll this time around, but Emo, from that mid lane, he definitely does carry as well.
Speaking of Invictus Gaming, we are going to have an interview with JT. JT, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, guys.
Hello.
Congratulations,
Hello. Congratulations.
On your win.
Thanks a lot.
So tell me, the Kunkka pick, was that to trick Thunder Predator into thinking that Kunkka was going middle?
Sort of a tricking, I guess, because at first I think we planned to use Kunkka to set as middle, and then we got better pick at the end, so we picked the Storm.
Oh my gosh, that adaptation.
Yeah, is the Storm the MVP for you? Is Emo the MVP, or maybe are you on the Kunkka the MVP for taking it to the offlane?
Of course, Storm Spirit. He plays so much better than me, so he deserves the MVP, of course.
I think you also are an MVP of that match. You did a great job. If you had found any of the heroes on the other team, they would have disappeared for sure.
Are you angry a little bit that they're banning you out? We see a lot of your heroes that you play, Timbersaw, Slardar, whatnot. They're being banned.
I guess I should be the one who happy, right? They ban my heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're that
True
good,
that.
they have to ban you. This is, we haven't gotten a chance to speak to too many Chinese players, or players from Chinese teams at least. How did you feel about the region coming in? Did you think that China was going to be the strongest region?
Result will say everything, I guess. Result.
Okay. So you're only satisfied in the championship then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer.
So out of all the teams that are currently remaining, Evil Geniuses, PSG LGD, your team and Team Secret, who are you most afraid of?
Secret? I think Secret is much better compared to other teams. I mean, PSG LGD is much better as well. But we beat him on the TBC, the LAN event, right? The qualifier. So yeah.
What about teams that you have faced so far? Who gave you the most trouble? How do you rate Thunder Predator and Neon, these teams that no one expected to do so well?
I think for me, the Thunder Predator is quite strong, to be honest. Like, I didn't expect that we got so much trouble. Like, I think they are quite good. They managed to take down us game 1, and then, yeah, in the end, we managed to come back. So they're still a strong team. I mean, the Thunder Predator. I'm surprised, to be honest.
Any questions, Tsunami?
I'm satisfied, I think.
All right. Well, JT, do you have anything to say to all of your fans who are cheering for you?
Thanks for supporting, of course, and then hope you guys keep supporting us to leading to champions.
Thank you so much, JT, for a fantastic interview and your insight.
Thank you, JT.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yes, thanks.
I like that. They adapted really, really quickly. They picked Kunkka and thought they were going to send him middle, and then they were like, "Oh wait, Storm's here. Let's send him to the off lane."
Okay,
I like that.
he's saying that they're very flexible, but he also might be hiding some things here and there. You know, you don't want to reveal quite a lot. We've all seen what happens when you post a picture of a hero on Twitter. And so
The domino effect.
It all matters, man.
Sure, yeah. And I'm like that he's not downtrodden by the fact that them being top of the DPC, getting knocked down to lower bracket, they're not like, well, I'll settle for a top 3 finish, I guess. You know, the tournament didn't quite go our way. No, they're like, I'm still looking at the championship. I'm still looking at Team Secret.
All right. What about you, Lizard?
Yeah, like definitely the positive and proper attitude that he should have, considering they won their region. IG, they are the strongest team. PSG LGD has something to say there, obviously, as they're facing EG in the next series, but they consider themselves the strongest because they won the region. Why wouldn't they expect to be winning the full championship? Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we have a lot of matches coming up, but let's take a look at the bracket. So it looks like we've had a couple of eliminations. Tsunami's favorite with OB Esports Neon
This
going
one-
home, as well as Thunder Predator. But we still have, coming up next, we have Evil Geniuses versus PSG LGD. And then we will have, I believe, we will have Team Secret versus Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, these eliminations are more bittersweet. I relish it in the first few stages because the Dota isn't quite at the par that I want from majors. You know, the group stage, you get you separate the wheat from the chaff, and then you move on to the first round. What are you,
I'm
what are
just
you vibrating about.
No, I'm just vibing to what you're saying.
Oh,
I
okay,
agree
yeah, you're
completely.
preaching,
Yeah.
yeah. And so the first few eliminations, but then you get to top 6, it starts to break my heart a little bit. But it's okay. We gotta find out who the champion is.
But even if it's heartbreaking for teams to go home, we still can appreciate some good LAN Dota. But before we get to more Dota matches, we have our final clue. Netflix and One Esports have been terrorized. Their social channels have been terrorized by the 8 dragons. Each day, clues pointing to where 2 dragons could be hiding have been announced during the first 2 halftime shows throughout the Singapore Major playoffs. Once you've found the dragon, all you have to do is tag @One Esports in the comment section of the post. The first 3 Dragon Knights to successfully find each dragon will win a free 12, 9, and 6-month Netflix subscription. After all 8 have been found, the first prize winners of the hunt will be announced during the Singapore Major Grand Finals halftime show, with a full list of winners to be announced on oneesports.gg. And now, without further ado, let's take a look at our final clue.
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it will cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering why my mind keeps on spinning. This is I won't apply, waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is dying, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away.
Welcome back to the One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major. I have the pleasure and the honor of opening up the panel for the upper bracket finals. We know our top 4 here at the Major, and 2 of those top 4 is going to secure themselves a top 2 slot. Actually, they're already part of the top 3. EG and PSG LGD did very well so far in the Major here with Gods and Lizard. And Gods, this series, this is the toppest tier Dota, if that is a word, it is now, that we've seen so far.
Both these teams, they're red hot. They have their kind of own picks, their own play style. And I don't know, maybe LGD quite as well as EG, but EG, they believe their play style is just the best way to play Dota. They're stubborn. They're not going to go away from it. I feel like LG is going to be a bit the same, at least for coming game 1. Both teams are going to be trying to see if their style is the better one.
And all of these top-tier teams from other regions, we've seen them struggle. However, EG so far, they haven't been truly tested, and they are looking the strongest. Maybe that's only because of the matchups. Secret, maybe they just
maybe they lucked out?
Yeah, maybe they lucked out. No, not completely sure, but they did look extremely clean in their series.
It is such a difference. I got notes regarding the drafts of the 2. For one, I got like 2 series written on this one. I got 3 full cue cards of PSG LGD. They had to go through the wild cards to get to this place, and EG, they just show up. Cruising, 2 series, already top 3 at the Major. I wanna set the scene for this one actually. EG has struggled since the DPC season got introduced. They have not won a single Major, despite being one of the best teams in the world. We always call them a championship team because they always do well. But that has led them to have a lot of top 3 finishes. Yep. Not a lot of like they've only been in the finals once, Gods.
Yeah, they are just like the model of consistent tier 1 Dota, but they never get over the peak. It's a bit weird with them. And they've come so close. Like that last time they played Secret in a best of 5, it went 5 games. Like they're always just not quite there. I think a big part is that they do like stick to their style and they become a little predictable later on in the tournament. And that's where those teams who are playing tier 1 Dota but with a bit of like that crazy element, can sometimes get the better of them.
We haven't really seen a lot of this crazy element coming from the other tier 1s, however. If you look at PSG LGD as well, they're improving steadily. They're looking very strong. They're picking some weird position 5s, perhaps a Luna or a Gyro or whatnot, but you can predict their carries. If you ban the monkey, they're gonna pick the troll. If you ban the troll, they're probably picking the monkey. So not necessarily as inspiring as, let's say, Thunder Predator or Neon, but definitely on a very high tier level.
Yeah, I think this is going to be some great Dota, and I'm very excited to see EG play because, as you said, Lizard, maybe they have not been properly tested yet.
PSG LGD for me is definitely the proper test. Even though they came through the wildcard, I think that's only positive for them because they gained that momentum. They practiced, ironed, let's say, their strategies out, and you can see that benefited teams quite a bit. Secret struggled heavily against Neon today as well because they just played more games. They understand the meta.
It forced them to expand their hero pool more than anything. You play so many games, people are like, okay, we're going to ban this against you, and then they figure out what's their next best heroes, then they get to try it multiple times, and those get banned, so they try something new. So, PSG LG have gone through all the different phases of having to adapt their drafts and adapt their play to what other teams are doing against them.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see also the place of the IO in this game. Because we know Ame plays IO.
He'll be in the first ban, Shiv.
Yes, but does Arteezy play IO?
I think he does. I'm not quite sure,
Yeah,
but I think he does, right?
I
They
guess
played
the question is if EG have first picked the PSG LGD
Exactly.
banner, because I don't think EG is giving it away ever.
No,
It's-
100%.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to agree. Versus PSG LGD, you really can't let it go through. Versus EG, you can risk it, but it's a very high risk, low reward.
Now, one of the other things going into this series is traditionally EG has actually done really well against Chinese teams. They've knocked them out of multiple tournaments. Previous major, EG is responsible for 2 eliminations of the Chinese Dota teams. Why is that, Gods? Because you mentioned yesterday as well, like historically, they've always, like that, it's not just from the last year, it's been year after year after year. It's been since 2014 or something.
Yeah, PPD was always Peter leave trying to meet
Yeah,
Dagger. It was
exactly.
his nickname almost. It's a big part, I think, the playstyle, even though they've changed rosters, changed captains, they've always been a kind of farm-oriented team that kind of plays slower pace, sits back.
Is that Arteezy effect?
It really is. It's how they
see.
play around Arteezy.
Yeah.
And I think they're worse against those kind of wildcard teams that play with a bit of that craziness, which is, the teams that sometimes upset them. And Secret, I think, has kind of been their kryptonite just because they're Secret. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's like a clear, obvious reason why. Probably part of it at this point is just confidence. When you play with confidence, you're going to play better, and they just feel confident when they're playing against Chinese teams.
And they're playing this stability Dota in which they're not necessarily constantly aggressing. They let you do your thing, we're going to do ours, and it comes back to the draft. The team that has a better draft, if you're both passive, will come out on top.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out which team has the better draft. We're very close to having a draft coming your way for this upper bracket finals. But to have a draft, we need to have the team. So let's get Evil Geniuses and PSG LGD on stage.
Welcome on stage, Evil Geniuses. Welcome on stage, PSG LGD.
We see 10 players on that stage, Evil Geniuses and PSG LGD, ready to go head-to-head. But there's 12 people we should be thinking about, because both of these teams have a very prominent coach. It's Bulba versus Zhao8. And I know that there's a lot of old school Dota 2 fans out there. I want to take you back to TI3. And that was Bulba in Team Liquid versus LGD on stage. And that was a TI where only top 8 got prize money. Yes, there was TIs where only top 8 got any reward whatsoever. And this was one of them. And that was, I know God knows this match. That was a super exciting match where Bulba ended up coming out on top.
Bulba clockwork.
Yes.
Liquid are doing it. You know, many chat wall lines came from that match. And I think Zhao8, while defeated there, went on to then win TI the following year. He got his revenge on the world.
He did.
He is a historic captain and now coach of the Chinese Dota scene. He is one of the best minds of the scene. And I think Bulba's kind of been there for North America, perhaps a bit younger. And I mean, it's a weird thing of Bulba's inexperienced, but at least compared to Zhao8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Bulba always looked up to Zhao8 a lot too.
I remember Bulba being close to tears / a little bit in tears before the interview when he did the winner's interview, specifically because he was so proud to have beaten LGD with his squad, because that meant so much, Zhao8 being already such a name, and they were both playing the same role there, so there was a little bit of rivalry there as well.
The insane thing about the whole Chinese region is that every team has one of these, more or less every team has one of these call them first generation Chinese Dota players, like Fenrir, and you have Zhao8, you have
Super on IG, although that's not
also
the super.
Yeah, that's the different. ROTK now as well coming back to coach Elephant, so just every team has a big name behind them. Something that Western scene perhaps doesn't follow as much. Like
it's because all of the old guard is still playing.
Still playing,
I mean,
exactly.
we got Heen, we got Sunbi. They are veteran coaches now. Bulba, of course, as well here as I think the top one. And let's talk Dota, guys, because we are moments away from showing you the draft. And we already mentioned the IO. I want to also quickly mention the Alchemist. Will we see it here? Will it be banned? We've seen it be very successful in the hands of EG.
Yeah, they know how to play, I think, carry Alchemist better than any other team here. I think you have to be worried about it if you're PSG LGD. We'll have to see whether some of those other hotly contested heroes like the Death Prophet come into play.
Puck
and then
as well, right?
The
Void
Puck
Spirits,
especially, yeah.
A Puck on both sides even, and with EG banning out that Shadow Shaman, it smells like one of these spirits or the Puck, right? It would be extremely good.
Yeah, we're going to have the first game of this best of 3 with Evil Genius on the Radiant side and first pick. So we'll see what PSG LGD lets in the pool for them. Are they worried that EG will pick IO? I think that's one of the biggest questions. Will they, I guess, gamble it? But at the same time, you can't be a carry player without being able to play IO, right? Surely.
It's kind of up to EG, because if EG don't play, it's like they should maybe ban it here, but they don't ban it. So now PSG's like, they didn't ban IO.
Mind games.
This is the game one mind games.
Do you ban the IO or do you ban the Puck? I guess it's the first game of the...
Or the Death Prophet.
Or the Death Prophet, exactly. You could do that as well, because EG can also snatch that away. IO is an option. It's the first game of the series. Maybe you can let it go through and then adjust in the next 2 games if it has a strong showing.
They're going to ban it. I was going to say
it's just safe.
Arteezy is just so individually talented. I think he can play IO to at least a decent enough level. It's not like it's one of those heroes that I feel like isn't actually that hard to play as a carry. It's there's a very clear like order of items that you go and play style that
you don't even have to change them. You don't even have to switch them up. It's always Soul Ring, Dominator, Aghanim's, maybe Heart, maybe...
It's Heart or BKB.
Yeah.
That's usually the question. So you go Heart first, Heart then BKB, or BKB then Heart.
And normally in a game, a carry will know which decision is the right one there.
With the Puck on Evil Geniuses, I think this is Death Prophet or Void Spirit coming from PSG LGD, most likely, unless they want to target Xingqiu a little bit earlier. They go with the Death Prophet.
EG, however, get a Critter Spirit, I imagine. Tusk. They're going to prioritize Tusk instead.
Okay, because Xingqiu, if you look at him and what he plays, he doesn't play Earth Spirit as much as he does Tusk. So maybe that's a snatch pick. And who could have guessed? Troll banned out, they go with the Monkey.
Yeah.
Not surprised at all, indeed. I think I was very excited about seeing EG play on the main stage here after watching the group stages where we saw Tusk and Earth Spirit being so dominant, because I kind of feel like this is Crit's patch. We often talk like when a team wins a tournament or wins TI, it's like, okay, it was their patch. You know, this plays a big role. I think it's Crit's patch. This is his wheelhouse right here, and Tusk definitely one of the I would say one of the best in the world. He's up against Q though, also one of the best in the world. At it.
Exactly.
I think the best thing about Tusk and why, to me, it's risen above Earth Spirit in this tournament is because it's really good in these trial lanes. That's what we've seen Evil Geniuses do. It's what we've seen, I think, one or two other teams do as well. I mean, we saw Secret do it when they took down Thunder Predator. You do these aggro trial lanes with Tusk, and tag team trial lanes is just unbeatable. And EG's a team who will give Ice a 1v1 matchup on like a Timbersaw aggro trial lane and just win the lanes off of that.
It's good in the trial lane. It takes down heroes that are seemingly very tanky.
Yeah.
It's very flexible. We've seen it on Lelys on offlane. It gives you a save with a snowball. It just has too many positives. The hero is very strong. And on top of that, it was paired a lot with the Wind Ranger mid, which we saw Foxfire tag team. You just take out a target in a matter of seconds. So far from the bans, Evil Geniuses with the Beast, Master, and Winter Wyvern, I actually expected them to aim Fate Beyond a little bit harder, because I feel like you can't ban out anyone else, but his hero pool...
They've banned two of his, though.
Yeah, right now they did. Lycan, peculiar, because it was a very, very situational pickup from them on that offlane.
With the Winter Wyvern ban, we know ZQ has played it a little bit, but normally that is picked up specifically against something like
a troll?
Or an Enigma.
Yeah, or an Enigma. That's also an option.
Pango, or they have some heavy like physical damage core like the TB. Well, TB gets banned, so I imagine PSG LGD saw that Wyvern ban and thought, okay, what's good?
Yeah. With the Shadow Shaman banned out and with the Puck picked, they go with the next best option versus the Puck, and that's Lion. There's one problem for Lion, it's this Tusk. This matchup 4-on-4 can be a little bit difficult for Lion throughout the game. We've seen Kaka even have a miserable time on a position 4 Lion, just feeding constantly versus heroes that are bulky and get on top of him. Next, Evil Geniuses looking for the second... This could be a position 5, right?
This is the first time these teams are going into bonus time. It shows, like, these teams have had a lot of time to prepare for this series, of course, and it shows that this opening is what they kind of were planning all along. I think that is one of the first times we've seen that. By the way, Pango's still in the pool.
Pango's still in the pool. I wouldn't even mind seeing Fly's Phoenix, which I don't think we witnessed.
His Phoenix. Also, Tidehunter's been an EG go-to, a hero that not many other teams are playing in that 5 position
For me,
role.
the first hero I was thinking about is Tide, but it's kind of problematic versus Monkey because you can't flex it. You can't say, okay, I'm picking Tide, it might be offlane. It can't be. And that Prophet deals with him later on very easily. So Phoenix for me looks very solid, but maybe they'll pick Tide.
I like the Phoenix a lot more. Yeah, now you mentioned we've seen Phoenix with the Puck looks so good, and
there we go.
Fly's happy. This is the hero. We talked to him a few times during the NADPC, and he's like, man, I wish I could pick Phoenix. This hero sucks. Turns out it doesn't suck. He's probably watching this and like preparing for this tournament, like, oh, Phoenix is good. I'm playing Phoenix.
I'm playing it, yeah. I'm picking it. Even on position 4, we've seen in the last series just... it's a versatile hero on either one of the support positions, even on offlane sometimes, but overall just brings a lot to the team, especially with the Puck. You can't run towards the egg, you can't run away because of the Dream Coil. Combo it with something on the offlane as well, that Beastmaster will not be picked, but anything that... Wait, is Mars still in the pool as well? It is, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's an option.
It is, yeah, something Ice can... I mean, his hero pool is every offlaner, plus some heroes that you wouldn't consider offlaners he plays.
The one that you mentioned before, Pango, also very solid.
And Timber. Clear out those trees of the monkey.
Timber into monkeys feels a bit rough. Yeah, that's like... I thought Timber was going to play a big part in this draft, but once they give PSG LGD the monkey instead of the troll, I feel like picking Timber gets very risky.
The laning stage itself is hard. That Prophet is hard. Later on, that is in the game. So probably... Maybe they go wild and pick it, but I wouldn't like it. Yeah. Not my favorite.
And for PSG LGD picking Timber, there's the Tusk, there's a lot of magic damage with Sunray, with Puck, so it actually feels like a hero both teams have made sure they can't get Timber Sword.
And we've seen so many times from PSG LGD this Elder Titan on position 5. sometimes even on 4, but on 5 most likely played by Innocence. Throughout the DPC league, he's been on point with his 5s overall.
Absolutely. I mean, they've done very well overall, but quite a hero that has played a lot by them for sure.
Yep. I actually expected perhaps an Oracle coming from them here, as it's not banned, if I'm correct.
For
right?
EG, you mean? Or?
No, for PSG,
PSG LGD.
instead of the ET.
Oh, instead of ET, okay, I
But
see.
I like the ET as well, because having another frontliner, let's put it that way, in those mid-game engagements would be cool.
Right now, the draft from PSG LGD is looking quite favorable if you're going to have a 5-on-5 team fight. I know there's only 3 heroes so far picked, but how much more does EG need to focus to be able to match PSG LGD's team fight? How many, like, do they need to focus on that? Or at this point, is it like, well, you're not going to top Monkey King, Death Prophet, Elder Titan, so let's just go for some solo target?
They're going to pick a Viper. Wow,
Okay,
that's a offlane Viper?
Yeah, that's a Viper into the Monkey King. You get that break as well. It looks pretty solid.
There's your answer, Steve. They don't go team fight at all.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, it's Ice. Most of his heroes he's playing are those team fighters, those Pengos, those, Tides, whatever it may be. But against the Monkey, they're going to go for a laning matchup and a kind of game matchup rather than team fight.
Yeah, it forces you into a much earlier BKB. Now PSG LGD have to think about perhaps even switching up lanes. And what's very funny is that Viper is PSG LGD's go-to hero on offlane as well. Fate Beyond has been playing it quite a bit in DPC and in the other leagues. And besides Viper, he's been playing Nature's Prophet. Like, when I think about Fate Beyond, I think about those 2 heroes. And one banned out, the other picked up by Evil Geniuses. So one of the ways to deal with his hero pool.
Well, as far as hero pools goes, Easy showing a lot of confidence in Arteezy's hero pool because they're leaving his pick to last, and you got to imagine more carriers getting banned. The Jug, of course, and probably see another Arteezy like an Ursa or something getting banned out as well here.
Terrorblade, Alchemist, Jug, all banned out.
Monkey, Troll, Taken are banned out as well by EG themselves, so limited options now for the Arteezy last pick.
Yep. They ban out the Enigma. Now, Enigma isn't my personal favorite, not only for PSG LGD, but the whole Chinese DPC league. This hero has usually been a miss. Teams pick it up, try to make it work. It usually just doesn't do, even the Necro build, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like in some other regions.
Do you want Faith Beyond playing the Death Prophet or nothing to say?
They're both very capable. I think that Prophet versus Puck is pretty solid for that Prophet on mid lane, so you can do that. And then combo some Lion plus melee core on the offlane, perhaps.
They've played Slardar this tournament. We've seen it pop up here and there. But again, I will remind people as well, Pango is still in the pool.
I think it's going to depend a lot on what EG pick. They're going to see what the carry is and whether or not they want to, if there's a really good offlane that they see against Arteezy's hero, or if something else comes to mind.
They ban out the PA, perhaps because of the Viper pick. It opens up the PA for EG because you can't counter it with the Viper pick as well, right? So maybe that's the reason. We've seen PA, it hasn't done so. Not really the greatest.
It feels
hero
like
at
the last
moment.
pick carry when all the other carries are banned.
Yeah.
So I think PS just like, what carries are left? Oh, PA's left, let's ban it.
There's Morphling, I suppose, that's still left in the pool.
Morphling, Wraith King, and Morphling and ET doesn't feel particularly great. And there's Hexes, Silences to mess you up as well.
You have Wraith King versus Monkey King. In general, is considered not great. I wouldn't mind it. Into Monkey and that I wouldn't mind. Never mind. Take that back. Probably would be a little bit too difficult.
Well, they don't really have a lot of time to think about it. We'll see what Arteezy is going to play. It will be a Razor. Are you guys happy with that?
Well, they're going for the nasty draft.
Wow, yeah, no kidding. Razor, Viper on the same team. It's one of those heroes you pick, and you're not likely going to see this Razor. It doesn't have a counter. It's just whether or not Razor has like a really good free lane against those melee cores. Now PSG LGD may want to put that Death Prophet in the offlane, though. You see the Razor, you may want to send the ranged hero there.
Yeah, or just pick something right now that can lane into the Razor on the offlane.
Like what?
I'm thinking anything with mobility is usually good.
The Pango you mentioned.
The Pango wouldn't be that terrible, I suppose, yeah. You also have to think about heroes that can deal with the egg, so that's a bit problematic. The Quops that we've seen aren't good here as well from the offlane. Mirana, but it's
Core Mirana coming in? What?
No, not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
It used to be the answer on the mid lane versus Razor with leaping out, and you would be able to deal with the egg, but it's a difficult pick for them.
Yeah.
18 seconds in.
And they'll go for the Lina. That's a great egg hitter, but it does mean Death Prophet most likely on the off lane with the Lina going for nothing to say in the mid lane.
Yeah, but nothing to say.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to play into a puck with Lina. That can be a bit problematic for him, no?
And the other thing, we're talking about these lanes if the team's just going to straight up set them standardly. EG, more than any other team, run Arteezy in the off lane with like a tri lane or even sometimes dual lane. So I could very well see EG go for some kind of...
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Still satisfied with the Monkey King and that Prophet course.
Yeah.
But they have been cornered into their last pick. Same goes for EG. They've been
EG aren't going to be comfortable with the fact Arteezy's not on one of more his signature farmers. Maybe that's where EG's going to be forced to play a different style of game. But I think EG, like you say, still happy with their draft.
I will go for EG in terms of my predictions, but very curious what my analysts are thinking. Lizard, you go first?
For me, these two drafts are very, very close, and I can see ups and downs. So I'm going to go with EG just from the previous performances.
Okay.
Well, I hate to always agree, but I come over from NA, been casting the NA DPC. Like, of course EG is going to win, guys.
A little bias. It's okay. You're allowed.
I haven't seen Abed Puck lose in like 3 years, so...
That's true. I'm curious, though, because I know Lizard is going for Evil Geniuses, but Lacoste has also been covering Chinese Dota over the last 2 months. Lacoste, you want to give some hope to the PSG LGD fans?
Yeah, for sure. I don't like that EG does not have any kind of tower damage. Like, they're focusing hard on the lanes. They want to, just ruin Ame's Monkey King, but they cannot end the game. That's going to be the problem with their draft. Like, they, even with the 10-15k gold advantage, I still don't think they can go for tier 3 towers. So I'll go with PSG LGD here.
How about you, Owen?
I'm also sort of like what PSG LGD have, I'll be honest. I think, they've obviously done what they've done time and time again. This DP Monkey King. I'm going to be interested to see if EG's approach is going to be able to deal with it. But I do feel that it might just not be able to. If they're not able to close up the game quickly, I think they're going to get out-carried hard by Arme.
All right, well, let's see how this first game of the upper bracket finals is going to play out. Over to you guys.
Thank you very much. Very excited to see this match, though, play out. EG versus PSG LGD. And some kind of different heroes coming out, especially towards the end. Nothing to say. Bringing in the mid Lina. Something that we don't get to see every day.
I wish that was something else. Maybe a Queen of Pain, possibly, because, like, Lina, I've seen this hero fail so many times. Recently, I've seen the better performances, from Lina in general, but I can understand why,
look at this.
Stun.
Coming in already with the stuns onto Ice Ice, but Ice Ice and Crit, they're going to turn, they're going to be actually able to fight first, but they'll turn over as well towards Y. They'll take down 2. As Ice Ice, he's able to live, he's able to get out of there. As PSG LGD, they try and look for action. They've got a lot of stuns, but it wasn't enough. EG able to just turn, hold their ground, get 2 kills for themselves.
We see that all the time. Someone tries to, contest against the Tusk, the damage coming up from the tag team. The more numbers you bring, the stronger the hero is.
Yeah, and as we can see being pointed out there, 860 damage being done by that Nether Toxin that Ice was just able to turn, lay down, and they were just standing him for the full duration, pretty much.
Yeah. So Ice got the first blood, has 200 extra gold, 250, will TP back to the lane. He's probably going to go for Urn, Circlet, Sage Mask, more overtime damage. This is something that they've done before, also like having aggressive tri-lanes, and they've also like to get a first blood and TP position 5 to the bottom lane. So why? He needs to be careful. Like anyone who's a melee in this, like even Ame, like there's so much kill potential, a lot of slows.
And we'll see who's able to win out of this tri-lane versus tri-lane top as both teams, EG and PSG LGD, have come out with some fantastic lanes in the games that we've seen from the both so far. Why? He's going to get gone on here, but Arme able to keep him covered with the Boundless Strike. Only just, though. In fact, with the Nether Toxin, why? He might still tick down Fairy Fire, just enough to keep him alive. We're already seeing the hard-hitting potential of EG's tri-lane.
So it seems like they want to keep it. They put Arteezy on the bottom. Arteezy wants to rush for the boots of speed. Like in 1 versus 1, if you have a long lane, a Razor is pretty much always going to have a good time.
Yeah, you're always going to find some sort of opportunity to close in on Faith Bian and start running him down with the link. I'll have Xingqiu coming in with a rotation. See if Arteezy's prepared to deal with this. He's into the trees and he'll be fine. Xingqiu not wanting to hunt any deeper, knowing that Static Link is there available. Arteezy could have always looked for the turnaround, and Xingqiu will respect that.
It's one of those moves where you just rotate your position 4, forcing the rotation of their position 5, and now you have 2-1-2 lanes. Crit, level 2. Once Viper hits level 2, he is already level 2. They can start playing aggressive. They're playing Viper into 2 melees. Tusk already has a boost of speed plus attack team, just saving a skill point to see whether he needs a snowball or he needs an Ice Shard to block them off. Same build pretty much always on Crit Tusk. He's going for that drums. 8 charges. Pretty much no one else is doing it. Everyone else is prioritizing either a Falcon Blade or Orb of Corrosion.
It's an incredibly hard game for PSG LGD to get aggressive onto EG up top. I'd be very surprised if we ever see EG getting taken down whilst there's just the 2 members of PSG LGD here. Seeing over in the mid lane at the moment, 12 for 3, 12 for 3. Complete even trade and farm between. Nothing to say in Arbed.
And both of them bringing the bottle at the exact same moment, pretty much. Puck will have it a bit earlier, so he can start to play a bit more aggressive. Lina still has that Fairy Fire, but no mana for Dragon Slave.
Arbed, not quite able to connect the orb there. Really both keeping one another on their toes. Very close matchup so far in the mid. Bottom lane, definitely the lane where we're seeing EG win out the most. Arteezy getting the free farm, whereas of course we're seeing the Death Prophet starting to fall a little behind here. Faith Bian definitely having the tougher time in these dual lane setups.
He's level 3, still saving a skill point, whether he needs a Spirit Siphon or to put another point in a Crypt Swarm.
See top lane Crypt. He's ready to go in onto Armate. They close the gap with the Snowball, and even with the Fairy Fire, it's not enough to keep him alive. This top lane, incredibly strong for EG. It's just not a... it's not possible to play into if you're these 2 melee heroes. You get close to these 2,
it's so hard.
and Crypt they'll turn and kill you every time.
You need a bit more mana regen on Viper, so he decides to get an Urn of Shadows. Was thinking about rushing a Necro Book. Okay, I don't think I've seen this before, like, ever. I've seen some offlaners like a Tusk where there's like great synergy from the tag team, so might be reason why he's also going for it.
And you know, down the line, it will give, well, we'll see around 4-minute runes. Actually gonna have Crit coming in, nothing to say. And down the Light Strike Array. But he's got to run. Arbed will turn with Crit over towards Xingqiu instead.
Another orb.
He's gonna let's dive for it. Arbed, nicely done. Coming in under the tower, he's able to nuke down
Oh,
Xingqiu.
Regen Rune. Why? We'll pick it up. So that's a big deal, you know, just denying that rune from Puck. Puck is still level 5. Like, they might be able to get this kill. Yeah, he looks pretty dead.
He may have got the rune, but he's gonna pay with his life. 2 kills for Arbed. Some beautiful moves from Crit coming around the mid lane and allowing Arbed to turn and find so much action already. 4 minutes and a half in, Arbed's already 3-0-1.
They need 1 point on the board. Like, they need, you know, because you're at the 0, you just want to have something, because it affects you. You know, you look at the scoreboard. These are pretty big numbers, right? On the screen.
We'll see Arbed. Is he going to go up for the 5-minute rune? He isn't. There is a lot of members of PSG LGD down as Xingqiu would have been in position. And we're seeing, you know, already that top lane starting to fall apart from PSG LGD. Only Arme up here at the moment, and he's probably going to have to just turn towards the jungle, as laning against Ice is just not an option right now.
This is one of the reasons why EG just decided to go for this like heavy lane pressure. They knew that Razor's gonna have a good time. He is the lane dominator. Same goes for Viper. Mid lane doing really good. Like Lina, you know, has more CS, but they managed to kill 2 supports. Puck is level 6. There's the rotation.
I mean, they're just playing around with nothing to say. He'll drop the Laguna onto Fly. They do have the stun as well to finish off the kill. Arbed will still get the cleanup on nothing to say, and at the end of it all, Arbed's probably going to be happy. I mean, with Fly going down first, it means that Arbed continues to just pick up the solo XP for these kills.
Now, he's pretty happy that his support died.
Yeah, he's like, thank you, Fly. Not only giving him solo XP, but also, of course, eliminating the worry of the Laguna Blade coming out anytime soon with it being on cooldown. So Fly tanking a whole lot and doing the real support moves there to keep Abed's game good.
Yeah. Abed's bottle will get refilled on a mid lane. They're not baiting with the bottle. They're not gonna leave the bottle with the poison on, like Team Secret, went for it. Kind of backfired. Puck level 7, 4 points in Orb, picks up another bottle rune. Another bottle rune, what? Bounty rune. So yeah, Exorcism still not online on the bottom lane. That Prophet level 5 has a Falcon Blade.
It's top tower. Not really too much the PSG LGD can do about it. They have smoked up, but nothing to say in Xingqiu. Maybe going to see if they can get the wraparound on EG after EG stick around to finish the tower off. Why? He's going to try and set something up. Sleep catches Ice, but it won't catch on to Crit. Xingqiu continuing to close the gap, but Abed is here and does have Dream Coil at the ready. Xingqiu opening things up onto the puck. Nothing to say, has the follow-up.
Nice,
the save
no
comes
ball.
in. Crit is going to be able to buy time for Abed to jump out to the side as Abed will escape. They're committing onto Ice. Ice will fall, but he brings down Y with him.
Lina, can she land another stun? Tusk seems to be a bit too speedy with the Windlace and boots. That was such a clutch save. Abed gets out. He scouts if there are any stacks being made. And they also dealt so much, like this top tower is actually deniable. EG does not have that much of a tower damage, but they need to play with the catapults. Lina's bottle will be refilled on a mid lane.
And Abed with those moves continuing to go unharmed this game. 4-0-1. Have a refill mid. Maybe seeing if they can make a go here as Abed's got the Dream Coil. Set things up straight away as they're moving on to the Lina. Crit's able to dodge the Light Strike array and the Stomp to stay on top of Nothing to Say. Nothing to Say is trying to bottle up, but the right clicks are too much. As they bring him down, Fly will fall in return as Wide turns and runs him down. See Abed
Has a lot of damage. That's 200 damage. Puck picks up a
Abed's got a DD.
Yeah, Y looks pretty dead. The Lion.
Xingqiu, maybe Xingqiu can help. Hex out. Into the combo. Shard's actually going to grab the two of them there. Crit, he's going to be able to stop them.
He's going to clean them up.
As they just turn and kill them both as well.
Then Abed, he's on fire. Like, Abed, Puck go brrrr. And his bottle will get refilled. Like, this is like 4th time or 5th that his bottle got refilled. They just keep going on.
He might not be done. Yeah, he's already pushing back Faith beyond it. Still with some time left on the DD route. This is what happens when you leave it in. You don't take it out in the first few bans. Abed gets his hands on the puck and open the game phenomenally. Of course, a big shout out to his support backup as well. It has been these movements from Crit and Fly around the mid lane that have just enabled him as much as he's been popping off. The team effort's been perfect. See Fly getting caught out here by Fabian and Xingqiu between the Silence and the X. I'll leave no chance for Fly to dive away.
Also, Abed should start using some other voice lines other than greetings. Pretty sure he has them unlocked.
I mean, wait, no, he doesn't. Wait, okay, yeah, he's gold tier. He should have a few more. But into the jungle. EG starting to take away some of PSG LGD's sort of to the safe areas that they need for Arme. That's how's Arme's progress looking. It's pretty slow this game. I'd say very slow. This is definitely one of the, if not the slowest start we've seen from Arme on the Monkey King.
He got zoned out.
Yeah.
Very hard matchup for him, playing into Tusk. And Viper can't really do that much. Died once. Not too bad, considering what he was playing against.
See top lane Crit. He's trying to go for the bouncy rune here. Between the Silence and the Stomp. They'll stop him. He's going to start to lead in onto Y, and he's buying time for Ice to head over Y. He's not going to have any chance of escaping from this as he goes down. Of course, at the same time, down bottom, Arteezy getting the kill. He is being chased by Nothing to Say. There's Nothing to Say, got enough nuke. The Arteezy juke here around the trees. Fire. The Dragon Slave does still hit him, and it won't be enough damage. Arteezy's out. Arme and Faith Bian trying to look towards Fly. Fly no longer an easy kill, though. He's hit the 6. Supernova is at the ready, and Abed by his side. PSG LGD have to be careful about any fight they take around the mid lane as Dream Coil, Supernova, they're ready to go.
You can see them grouping around because they have a catapult. Let's see if Abed wants to tank any tower. Nah, he just denies it. Hits them with the greetings again.
That's super effective.
Tusk actually gives Tome to Phoenix. Like, he just wants his Phoenix to hit level 12, potentially faster. What a bro, yeah.
What a bro. What a nice man.
Arteezy so far having a really good game. Boots of Travel.
Yep.
You know, wants to be able to connect with the rest of the team, just potentially outnumber the opponents going into BKB. He was thinking about the Falcon Blade, but since he picked up an Arcane Ring, has enough mana sustain, and with the Boots of Travel, you're going to be, you know, teleporting to base more often.
We're going to have the smoke movement as EG. They try and connect down on the bottom lane, flying Arbed. White will put a stop to the movement over. Maybe Arbed would just turn and go for him instead. He will. Dreamcard dropped down. Arteezy closes the gap. Y's gone, and now with the jump up to the high ground, they're going to look for more. As they close the gap with the snowball, they'll pick up 2. Jin down as well. As EG 14-4 right now.
This is the type of game that they need to play. Like, their heroes are very good right now. They know that Ame will not be able to join any team fights. He just wants to farm up. Usually Ame is the one who doesn't even join before he gets the Aghanim Scepter. Potentially, you know, with the TP, if they overextend, other than that, he just wants to farm.
And this is really going to be one of those games where it's pretty much going to be impossible for Ame to turn up at all until he has the BKB, because in any of these fights, if a Dream Coil and a Nether Toxin gets thrown down on top of him, he's pretty much useless if he can't benefit from the Jin.
Even if he gets a BKB, like, it's just going to be a hard game for Ame throughout pretty much the whole game against the Viper Strike. Then you have Volrus Punch, Static Link. Like, these are all abilities that most likely are going to be used on you.
Absolutely. This is, you know, very much, you know, EG coming out with what we needed to see. They knew that it was always going to be there, this first round of the draft, this Ame Monkey King. They had to have a plan, and definitely a lot of pieces that do seem to be very strong counters against it sliding into place here from EG.
PSG LGD, you know, they still have a better late game if they can just slow it down to not get overrun by EG. There's going to be this ET, you know, still does not have a point in natural order at all. Monkey King, we've seen what he can do once he gets the items, that profit. Fabian is actually relatively farmed. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, about like Falcon Blade and the Yule Scepter. It's a lot of mana, you know. You still have a defensive tool with the Yule Scepter, but you don't bring like any of utility to your teammates when you go for that kind of a build. And you also, like, it's still a good BKB game because you're playing into Puck, you're playing into Phoenix, you want to have something to kill the Supernova. Their heroes are actually not that good at killing Supernova, especially if you get the Fire Spirits on them.
Absolutely, and which is going to be a problem considering that EG have...
Yeah, pretty much it's just Lina, you know, with the Fiery Soul.
And like they are, in the most part, going to have to deal with that egg, because when things come into play like the Dream Coil and the Shards, you're not necessarily going to have the option to run away from it. So the team fights definitely will be scary once EG start to bring it to them. See the pace of the game slowing down a little bit, as EG yet to look to make the next move. Tier 1 still available in the mid lane. It's probably going to be the next target. Already very low. Let's see what they do. Bring in the 5 in around mid. They got a smoke. Fly does. They're ready to make a move here, EG. They know that they do need to still continue to use their strength right now against PSG LGD.
This is their catch. Ice with the Road of Atos. Like, he can initiate from a bit further away. Jin-Q breaks the smoke.
There we have. See how they start things off. Arteezy coming in from the side, but Jin-Q will be able to hold back the two of them with the stun. The Light Strike Array comes down in return.
Snowball save.
Crit picks him up. Over from the side, Ame drops the Wukong's command. They bring down Ice. Arteezy getting a decent link off onto Faith Beyond. Will turn, nuke through the Linas. Nothing to say falls. EG starting to reset a little bit, wait out the Wukong's command before they look to get back in on this.
And they were so ready for this. Like, nice positioning from Jin-Q. 2-man Earth Spike, they were ready. Like, Dead Prophet using the Exorcism straight away. It's just a trade, but Lina, like, she would love to not die there. Instead, let's say they trade a support for Viper, would be a big W, I would say, for PSG LGD.
Yeah, we did see some sort of safety at the end there from EG. Not trying to run straight back in. Arteezy hasn't quite got the BKB, so rather waiting for that before they really try and push it. They just sort of leave with the trade that they get. 1 for 1. Arteezy just making sure that he could finish off Nothing to Say on the way out. So deciding not to commit anything else now. Arteezy Farming rather deep on his own up top, trying to get this BKB finished. He's going to be found by Xingqiu and Arme. As Arteezy, I don't know if there's any way.
Can he juke this?
I mean, if he can, that's going to be quite something. He's up in the trees, Arme. He's able to get him just in time before Arteezy escapes. Back over to mid, Arbed. Nice, looking to chase down, nothing to say. Arbed's certainly going to dive in for that one.
It's just so much overtime damage. Witchblade plus anything from Viper on top of Urn of Shadows. It's just like you need BKBs. You're going to need the BKBs. Ame pretty much going for his standard stuff. You know, I'll get that Battle Fury, which will get me closer to the Aghanim Scepter, and then I'll possibly get a BKB. He can still swap things around, but I feel like he needs it. He needs to be able to jump on the targets and just to deal damage.
Yeah, Ice stepping in rather deep here. It's going to be spotted out by Y. With that, PSG LGD more than far enough away. Arme's catching up. The goal difference remaining at just at this 2K. And with the Battle Fury done, the pace of the Monkey King is going to pick up. And that kill on Arteezy definitely helping. As Arteezy was definitely tempted. He just wanted to stick around that one last wave because that would have given him the BKB. As it was with that death, though, gets knocked back a little bit. He'll farm it up in a much safer position, clean up this triangle, and then he will have the BKB ready for the next move.
Nether Shawl dropped for both of these teams. The most perfect item, like you're always gonna have and find the usage for it. It's definitely the best tier 2 neutral item in the game. You can see the problem that EG got is we don't have enough damage. We don't have enough tower damage. And for PSG LGD is they're struggling to initiate a fight. Like your Lion and the ET, they're not really good at starting a fight. Your offlane is a dead prophet, and you're in a situation where you can't just group around because you don't really feel comfortable fighting right now. You would rather farm. So they're just gonna play slowly. You know, most of the time it's like either be counter-reacting to what they're doing or try to smoke up and possibly get a pick off. They need to be very careful about EG's like Roche taking potential because of Tusk.
He is baiting here as he's got the BKB, he's ready to fight. They do commit on him, but already over to the side. Crit Arteezy, they'll collapse on nothing to say. They bring down the Lina and now Arbed, Dream Coil locked down onto Arme. EG will be able to turn and take down both cores. As the Arteezy bait works perfectly. He had the BKB, he was more than ready for them to jump as he positions aggressively, and PSG LGD, they fall for it.
Yeah. Surprised they decided to take that move. There is still a tier 1 tower on the top lane. They can easily TP, they can outnumber them, and as you said, Razor with the BKB, he was ready. This is what I just mentioned, like the Roche taking potential coming up from the Tusk, they have enough. He pops the drum on top of that, just wants to be able to secure it as fast as possible.
No chance for contest here from PSG LGD. Faith BM trying to get some pressure onto that bottom tier 1 tower. Still, you know, half HP on the bottom tower. The other tier 1's barely taking a scratch, as EG really are yet to lose any sort of map objective on their half. PSG LGD just haven't managed to get the push together yet.
This is where the difference comes from. They have taken 3 towers,
yeah.
They have not lost a single one, they took the Roche as well. Still, PSG LGD, you know, they are finding the farm on the map, Ame getting closer to that Aghanim Scepter.
But, you know, for sort of all the games we have seen PSG LGD get the wins, that you know, so sometimes in the games that they have dropped, it's very much been, you know, Arme, he's AFK farming, the Battle Fury, the Axe, and then suddenly the game just comes to an end. Even though, at least in the one loss we did see from them. And EG definitely playing at the sort of the pace that's going to try and force that situation here. As Arbed looking to get some right click online. Okay, we're going for the Deso. It's going to help massively for that extra bit of physical burst.
Yeah, it's just that they don't have enough tower damage. This is why he's itemizing this way. He went for the damage talent, going into Deso, phase shift attack. Makes a lot of sense. Top lane, Ame getting caught.
Needs a bit of help. The Viper strikes down on him. He's going to drop the Wukong's command. Silence does come in, but he's going to tick very low to the Viper strike. He'll just keep himself alive as now the turnaround's attempted by Faith Beyond, moving over to White Side's eyes. Xingqiu as well closing in as they bring down both of them and keep Arme alive.
It's so important that he does not die there. He could have also just tried to TP out. I think he would have enough time. Abed chasing, has a Blink Dagger and Invis, but the rest of the team is not there.
I was maybe seeing if he had the chance to pop Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond very much aware that that sort of move could be coming into play as he was guarded by his 2 supports.
PSG LGD, they are happy how things are going for them right now. You know, Ame didn't die. They still don't want to take the fight before the BKBs. Lina getting close to one. Actually has enough gold soon. Dead Prophet also getting very close. So once they get those 3 BKBs up, they will be ready to fight. Even like before, I think Ame might need to be, just joining fights.
Abed is going to see nothing to say. Little split for the rest of his team as he's up on the cliff. He is going to turn, drop the Laguna, but the snowball comes out with Supernova out. PSG LGD, they can't head up into the high ground. To keep their distance, nothing can be done to save, nothing to say.
Nothing to say, nothing to save, huh?
And it certainly isn't with him dead for 35. See if EG can start putting some pressure on the tier 2s. Ice. Starting to go for the mid tower.
They're like, we're playing for 25. We do not have enough tower damage. Just wait until Viper gets poison attack, affects buildings, then we're good to go.
It's going to take a little bit of time, but maybe that is the late game that the EG actually do have hidden up their sleeves. Oh, mate. Has to be very careful how he jumps for waves. He's going to come down here. Ice, waiting at the side. The Sunray as well.
Oh,
this
he
is
killed
a
the
lot
creep.
of damage as Arme's gone. Fly and Ice ready for him to make that jump.
He killed the creep. Arteezy was trying to TP with the boots of travel. I'm not sure if they did not have a glyph or did not want to pop it. Glyph, Radiant team on cool. Yeah, it was on cooldown. 7 seconds.
These deaths are very, very costly for Arme. Also over to the side, Crit finds Y alone. A couple of kills will give EG the space to push on in the mid lane. Take this tier 2. See how much more they can find whilst they do still have the Aegis on Arbed. He himself just a few hundred gold away from the full Desolator. Might even hit the timing to get the chance to start pushing at the high
Coil
ground.
on Lina.
Aggressive jumps,
BKB.
Arbed. He's going to force out that BKB straight away without the Hex and the stun coming out for Xingqiu, but Crit is able to take them away from the stun. Respawn from Arme as Arme TP's over towards the mid. Crit backs out to the side. Extra TP over from Y as they look to close the gap. Faith Beyond will push back Arbed. EG just kiting out these 2 BKBs for now. Well, they're ready to jump back in. Arteezy. He's in with the blink. Arbed. Silent sound of the 2 of them. Nothing to say. He's falling low. He's going to yours himself. Arbed will get burst at once, but he's got the Aegis. He's ready for a second round. Arteezy takes down Nothing to Say. He's even thinking about chasing into the base for Y. He wants to go past the tier 3s, up to the tier 4s. He really wants this. Y will pop us out, but Arteezy keeps on diving. Blinks to the side. He's out of there. They won't be able to punish him with 3 dead on PSG LGD.
The way this fight started, Snowball, PSG LGD is like, yeah, they're gonna come into our base, 2 blinks, they get out of the trouble, BKB's already popped, and then they reset. Arteezy goes in, cleans them up with that. This is such an actually valuable pickup on him, going for that blink dagger to be able to catch people, get out of the trouble, like just get on top of Monkey King more easy. I think that's the most important part.
Yeah, getting on the Monkey King. I mean, getting on the Lina as well. Another hero that just hates having heroes just jumping right and close of her, because then suddenly she's forced to use herself, and that leaves her in a very funny position, as we see here. Nothing to Say buys a bit of time. As soon as he's back down, Arteezy's waiting and ready to kill him off.
Good first usage of Aegis. It was about to expire, 30 seconds, and they still get the most out of it.
Mate. He's looking at farm, but they're waiting. Arteezy's ready to go. He pops the BKB, the static link. They're just setting a trap every single time.
3-man coil.
It's over the 3 of them. See if they can do more with this EG as they're chasing over. Nice Striker raid down onto Crit. Supernova from the high ground, forcing PSG LGD to run. The shards won't grab anyone, but Arbed, he's still trying to chase on for this. He's up into the high ground. See if they can get any sort of stun landed as he comes out of the face shift. They can't.
Get
He's
him.
out of there, Arbed. No catch for him.
My finest creation gets out of the trouble. So far, they did not manage to kill Puck, not even once. I see Eon Disc queued up. That's just gonna be a huge issue. No one buys like into Nullifier. You can dispel it with the Yule Scepter, which is okay-ish, but still you need to deal with the phase shift. You need to deal with the blink, and possibly Yule Scepter on him as well.
How do you kill this Puck? And we're seeing, PSG LGD really struggling to keep Arme safe, even in that situation where he was farming in his own triangle and did pretty much have the whole team behind him. They just couldn't do anything to stop this blink initiation from Arteezy. Blinks in, BKB static link. Arme's going to die pretty much every time to that play.
there is no counterplay. Like, even if he pops a BKB, he's still gonna be in trouble, but a bit less, you know. Wukong's command could potentially turn things around. 12k gold lead. Gonna call it suddenly for EG, where like they were keeping it 2k gold lead.
Look at the graph.
Yeah, it just skyrocketed.
A shot straight up after that fight. And EG ready to keep the plays coming. It's Crip. He's got his eyes on nothing to say. They're in with the jump initiation, punch into the snowball, nothing to say. We'll punt the BKB, but he's already fallen too low. He'll come down off the back of this Jules to an instant death there. Over to the side, Arme. Look at the Wukong's command out. Ice. Drops the Nether Toxin and the Viper Strike onto Arme. As RT's in with the BKB and the static link. Arme's gone. They'll lose the line. 3 dead yet again on PSG LGD. Fabian's trying to chase down Fly. The Fly's got backup. Crit jumps in over towards the DP. Fabian will be able to take the two of them down, but he'll lose his life for it. 4 dead on PSG LGD, and Arbe's not done. He's up to the high ground, chasing down Y, critting as well as they'll force back the ET. RTZ's in with the slow. It's a team wipe as EG clean up every single one of them. PSG LGD all dead, 30-10 now. As EG's pace and momentum, it's just far too much for PSG LGD.
It's
they
just
can't withstand this
they
at
did
all.
not have answer for this Puck. Crit Tusk also causing a lot of issue every single time. Like, he has this BKB piercing ability. You're just never gonna feel safe playing against Tusk. I would not be surprised if PSG LGD just GG's out after one next fight.
It definitely feels like it could be going that way. This game getting infinitely harder for PSG LGD to be able to carry on the back of Arme's Monkey King, something that they've felt confident in enough to open draft after draft with here on the main stage. And after this game, if EG can keep this up and get the win, they may have sort of shaken up PSG LGD enough to maybe look towards something a bit different, because EG coming in with solid answers this game to Arme's Monkey King.
They were so prepared for this. You can feel that they were ready, you know, kind of feels like a big bait coming up from EG. Yeah, go on, pick your Monkey King, we'll be able to counter it.
Yeah, a lot of things in play that are causing issues, but definitely this RTZ Razor, the final pick and the build that he's gone for, that really has just sealed the deal on top of everything else. Mid lane, diving in onto nothing to say again, having to put the BKB and running. They do turn, get the Hex, the Light Strike Array onto Arbe, but the Eon Disc is good to go. Arbe will be able to jump out to the side. Arme trying to get in on this, but here's RTZ, swings around, BKB and Static Link down onto the Monkey King. Arme has got nothing that he can do here as Arme's down yet again. Arbe diving down the rest of them, jumping around over towards Xinkyu and Y, crits in with the punches onto the Elder Titan. Y goes down, Xinkyu whipping himself out of the game as RTZ, he'll help with his whip as well. 4 dead once more. It really does feel like there's just nothing to be done, and there isn't. GG, it's called.
Yeah, I've seen LGD when they're losing the games, they tend to GG out a bit earlier. You know, they feel they do not want to be in this anymore. They do not want this to affect their mentality coming into the second game, so they just call it.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Over and over again, like you're giving team information, how you're playing, and it's always pretty much the same build. Like the play style is, I'm gonna farm that Battle Fury, I'm gonna farm that Aghanim Scepter, so he will not be joining fights. And pretty much EG, they had the perfect answers for Monkey in this one.
Excellent draft and just perfect play from EG as they crush PSG LGD's game plan in game one. We're gonna have to see if PSG LGD has got some other approaches up their sleeves, because the ones that they've already shown definitely seem to be just prepared for completely by EG, and they're just not gonna fly past them.
I believe there is some pun somewhere. We're not going to fly past them, but I'm going to let that slide because I do 100% agree. Evil Geniuses crushed PSG LGD here in this first game of the upper bracket finals. That was not even close. And I want to jump ahead, guys. I want to not skip highlights. We'll postpone those for later, but I want to just straight up hand out MVPs.
Do it.
Do it. And you heard it right. MVPs. Multiples. Abed, of course. Of course. It's Abed's Puck. It is such an easy MVP to give, but he delivers time and time again, really confirming and solidifying the case that he is the best Puck in the world.
Ridiculously good performance. He didn't die by the end of the game, right?
No.
11-0-14. Just getting that double damage rune sealed the deal. He was already dominating that double. With that double damage, he goes to Wicked, sick. throughout the game, he played extremely, extremely well. He jumps in the backlines, coils the Lion before he hexes him. Then he blinks back to finish off the Lina. It just really, really...
And who else didn't die?
Mr. Crit.
Mr. Crit, the second. Like, this game has to have both of these guys as the MVP.
19 assists. He's everywhere. Him and Abed were just ran a train over PSG LGD. They are too freaking good.
Is this some NA bias here? They get to have
No,
two
it is not.
MVPs?
They just
Hey.
played that well. They are
Yeah.
a top 3 team here at the Major already, Lizard, and with this win, they already are one step closer to making it to the grand finals. And teams that are that good sometimes just deserve 2 MVPs.
Okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I didn't see any MVPs in the European regions recently, so I'm satisfied with NA getting 2.
It really was the way our commentator said, though, with PSG LGD coming in with the game plan. I guess it's kind of predictable by this time that if they get the Monkey in the first 2, or if Trolls banned out in the first 2, Monkey is going to get picked. And it seemed like Evil Geniuses was reading that like a book, and they knew exactly what to expect.
And I think what impressed me the most is, you know, having watched EG for the last 2 months, this is the first time I've seen them play this style of Dota, to be totally honest. Usually it is more, let's pick our TZ hard carries. And I was like, okay, I like their draft. I like their response to Monkey King, but can EG play this way? I knew Abed Crit could play this way, Ice, but Arteezy, he's going boots of travel, he's everywhere, he's fighting, and as well as farming, and then goes Blink Dagger, he's diving the base. You don't see Arteezy do that usually.
Rip your pubs, especially NA pubs with Blink Dagger Razors just feeding away. Oh, all
If
right.
they play like this, I don't mind.
2 things. First, Evil Geniuses, they are playing a different style, like Parker said, and I really like it. They adapted to the Monkey King, a hero that doesn't fare well when you crush him in the laning stage, and then you have this, it's not a power spike, linear power curve in which you're just constantly on top, constantly fighting, constantly dominating team fights. Another thing that I need to say from PSG LGD is that nothing to say with Lina was very disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't think that they can get away with Monkey King on safe lane and a liability on the mid lane.
Yes.
They need a hero that does stuff. They needed the Void Spirit, any sort of a spirit, something different.
Lina reminds me a lot of how SF plays the mid lane. These 2 heroes just not kind of in the dumpster a little bit right now because they get roamed on, they get pressured. Any heroes that jump them just ruin their game entirely. And I think we've seen 1 or 2 other lanes this tournament. They actually at least won 1 game and looked all right. But, you know, EG reminding everyone, like, this is how you play against Lina. Like, you just jump on top of this Lina, ruin her game. 1, 9, and 2. I had to, like, kind of double check there
Yes.
if that score was accurate, because, wow.
You already mentioned at the draft gods that Lina last pick felt like they were trapped already before they picked Lina. Was this the best solution? Could you see that this for them was the best solution in this in that last?
They had
pick?
Death Prophet. Just send Death Prophet mid.
Send that Prophet mid and pick a Fate Beyond hero last. That was also an option for them, but they felt like if they did that, they wouldn't have an answer to the egg. So they put themselves in an even worse situation in which they don't have an answer for anything.
I'm about to say, just let the egg go off. You build some BKBs. Yeah, the egg stun goes through BKB, but like I think you don't, like, we've seen a lot of teams just not go into these Miranas anymore against Phoenix because it's just not. It's not going to win the game by itself, get an egg going off.
Another big issue is that they were playing into a Razor and a Viper. And then you have to think about what happens when they switch up their lanes. If we pick this hero, will he be able to even lane versus Razor? And
Sure.
Lina is kind of jack of all trades, that she can lane versus the Razor, also deals with the X, so I can definitely see the reasoning behind it. It just extremely flopped. Versus the Tusk, versus the Puck.
I hope they have something else up their sleeves for game number 2, because otherwise this series is going to be over real quick, because EG looks like they're in dominating form. PSG LGD left left with the scraps here after the first game. They're going to, of course, have a break, and I hope they're sitting comfortably to think about their game plan for game 2. And I know, actually, that they're sitting comfortably because we have an awesome official chair sponsor, Secret Lab. If you want to also experience that professional-grade sitting experience, you can do so if you go to secretlab.co. You'll be able to find out exactly what you need to do in order to get that same experience as the players. But we are going to take a quick break. But when we're back, it is more Dota 2 here for the One Dota 2 Esports Singapore Major.
Follow me home. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning. Kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the and I can see the light. But I can also see the bones kid. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars. But the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. And the dark's all that I see. When your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. Be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the tide. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet. I can feel silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
Evil Geniuses is a one game away from making it to the grand finals here at the One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major. And that would be the second time since the introduction of the DPC League that they would make it to the finals, which is crazy to think about because they have been such a dominant team throughout their entire existence. But finals at majors seems to be a tricky one for them. Last major, they did make it, but they didn't make it all the way. At the moment, though, they're looking very, very good against PSG LGD, who is against them and now is one game down. They do not want to get dropped to the lower bracket because that is a scary place to be. We got IG and Team Secret that are going to face off later today, but both of those teams would be a tough one to take down. But here in Game 2, they have a lot of things to think about, gods. What are they going to do in Game 2? What are they going to ban? They have to ban the Puck, they have to ban the Tusk, they have to ban the Enchantress, they have to ban the IO.
They don't have to ban the Enchantress.
That's a lot of
They did it last time.
I don't know if they had to ban the IO, but again, you don't want to roll the dice.
No, especially not in this game. Like, if you want to roll the dice, do it in Game 1.
I think the strength in Game 2 draft, probably we're going to see a change in first pick. I think just because of the IO factor, having first pick is an advantage because you basically get an extra ban. Well, your opponents only have one ban. They have to ban IO. And I think that also means it's kind of like they get even a third ban because they can then take Abed's Puck for themselves. Puck is just like this easy to first pick hero. So
I think one of the things that you might think if you're PSG LGD and Innocence and drafting is perhaps leave the Monkey King for a little bit later.
Yeah. but then
don't pick it
you
instantly.
can't. It's going to get banned.
And let it be banned. You're going to get 2 different picks then.
Ooh, actually,
Yeah.
this game will be very different because I would imagine that the pick order is going to get swapped around. Previously, PSG LGD, they had to ban the IO because EG had first pick. And like you said, you don't want to run that risk.
So this time it's going to be banned by Evil Geniuses because PSG LGD plays it.
Yes.
And we've seen it before by them, and it's very difficult to play against. However, Evil Geniuses, they already did let the Monkey King go through. My question is, they didn't face any IOs, right? I believe they didn't. Yeah, I believe they didn't. At least not carry ones.
No.
So because of that, maybe they'll be lulled into this false confidence that they can beat an IO and let it go through. And then you play against it because they're already one up.
That's a big
They're already one up.
But if you're going to try it, I do agree, Lizard, that maybe this is the time where you want to do it. They're 1 game up.
Upper bracket as well.
You know what? You don't want to do it in the grand finals. Because that's, at the grand finals, you just want to win. By the way, I think there's a lot of people curious about Arteezy's headband, and I have the answer for you why he's wearing that. So he has, obviously, he got the Corona haircut, a.k.a. no haircut, long hair, and he does need to have his hair out of his face when he's playing. He got himself some headbands, but he realized if he was wearing them for a long time...
Hurts the hair?
Hurts the head, yeah.
Yeah, they give you a little headache when they pinch. Yeah.
So he dug around his backpack, found this one, which is from his girlfriend, and it's stuck with him, and it's comfortable, and now he sees a little bit of a lucky charm.
Yeah, players are superstitious.
Yeah, definitely working out right now.
I mean, we're Matoma Man shorts, you gotta wonder.
Are you guys superstitious at all? Like, for me, it's the positioning of the chair, my mouse, my keyboard, it all has to be at the perfect angle. Perhaps not superstitious, but I have to have everything in the perfect order.
I understand that. I would think I'm the same. I think that if I was playing competitively, if the first game I did something weird before then that I normally don't do, I would think, okay, maybe I have to do that again. I think I would become a little superstitious.
Yeah, when I used to play tournaments like 9-10 years ago, like however long ago it was, I would always wear the same pair of underwear when on grand finals day. There was like the pair I felt most comfortable in, and I'd always wear it on that Sunday.
I mean, I can understand that.
It's not like they were like...
Don't worry, guys. He washed them.
Did you wash them?
Yeah, between events. No, like...
I know, Twitch chat. They were also in there.
My head is literally
only on the last day. But Saturday and Friday, the days before, I'm wearing a different pair. I don't care. I just wear whichever pair I find. But come Sunday, I know which pair I'm wearing.
You wear every Sunday. Okay, I see.
And then I wash between events.
Do you still have that same pair?
Yeah.
That's a good brand.
Not a lot of finals you've attended.
Yeah, they're very, very lightly used.
I see.
No, it's I totally understand. Oh, hey, I see a ban already on the.
Was that
that was a Timbersaw ban.
Yeah. He's
so
called
that means we are
now?
moments away from the draft. I'm also very curious. This guy right here, I want to see him on the Tusk as well. I'm sure that we gave the MVP to Crit on his Tusk. But if I were to choose the 2 best Tusk players of this entire tournament, that would be the other guy right there. XinQ has played it amazingly well throughout
100%. One of the reasons why they've even got into the wildcards is his Tusk. In some of the games that he played in the tiebreaker, his Tusk was on point. He was just saving people later on in the team fights, left, right, and center. Just an amazing Tusk player. Wouldn't mind seeing him on that. And Evil Geniuses, they will not risk it.
No.
We have the answer.
Yeah. And PSG LGD still banned out the Enchantress, by the way.
That's very surprising.
Yeah. They're in that position where they get the extra bans now. They don't have to ban IO. They don't have to ban Puck because they have first pick. It's EG who go ahead and ban both those 2 exact heroes because...
Do you go DP again?
What are the other options? Tusk is the other. Tusk is, I think, top tier.
Yep.
I think Tusk, Death Prophet, probably the 2 that stand out most. Phoenix. I think Phoenix is more, we saw last game, a second phase hero.
Surely they wouldn't pick Monkey King again. First phase.
I think maybe you pick the monkey, but you cover it with some other picks. You pick it as the overall 4th pick, and then you perhaps just mix it up a little bit. The 3rd pick, that's it.
They're going into bonus time for this one as well, which is a little bit surprising. Curious as well, throughout the entire season and also the first days of the wild cards, we saw a lot of Void Spirit in the opening. We've kind of been missing that hero. We've seen him here and there, but definitely not in the openings anymore.
I think, most of the Void Spirit I feel like was in response to Puck. Not that it's a hero that counters Puck, it just seems to be the go-to mid laner where you know you have some reliable catch against Puck. You're not going to lose your lane per se.
It's weird because Puck at the beginning was the response to the Void Spirit.
Yeah.
And then teams and players kind of adjusted their playstyle, and you see Void Spirit winning the lane, and later on as well he can be complicated, but Puck's still pretty good in that matchup because of the leash. However, we will not see the Monkey King. They've listened to us. They're picking the Pangolier instead and saying if EG wants to counter it, they can go ahead.
It's going to force EG to use 2 bans against Ame because both Monkey and Troll still in the pool. Gotta imagine EG probably does target Ame. I think he's got the most clearly defined hero pool when it comes to that second phase, but...
Picking Troll and banning out Monkey is also an option, but instead picking an Alchemist.
Oh, I was expecting that, and I'm sure a lot of people with me, considering they get Protect ban afterwards, and it's such a comfort hero for them.
Yeah. They, for those of you who've been watching the tournament, seeing a lot of Alkin, different, well, off lane as well as carry. EG exclusively run this in the carry role. Unless it's going to be a big curveball from them, expect this to be Arteezy's hero.
I mean, they came into this series very well prepared, and you could see them in that first game as well, picking some heroes that you don't necessarily see them pick. So maybe here Alchemist offlane as well is an option. But let's see, probably some instant apparition bans, heroes that deal well with the Alchemist. There we go with the Troll Monkey, right? That's what you guys called.
Probably, yeah. Unless they want to bait out the Monkey King pick again. That's something we talked to Puppy, talked to these captains. Sometimes they want to bait their opponents to pick something because they feel like they have an answer to it. But at least in game 1, that was the case with EG.
Yep. Monkey King is a little bit slow, I would say, versus the Alchemist, but if it does get picked, you can't flex that Alchemist on the offlane any longer.
So last time we saw EG on Alchemist, they ran it on Arteezy, but in the offlane in a tri-lane. And that's something, maybe they're going to be considering again. They've got the Tusk, so they're pretty much going to have a tri-lane advantage. Acid Spray, impossible to fight under, plus tag team. Like, you're winning that tri-lane if you're EG.
Why is the win rate so different on the Radiant and Dire for this?
Don't be fooled by this. I think it's all about the teams that are picking it and perhaps the position. Because if you think about it on Dire, maybe it's even easier to play the Alchemist because it's easier to stack for him.
Yeah,
the jungle's
that's what
better.
I was expecting, a higher win rate on Dire.
I think it's one of those stats that don't really tell the true story. The whole
small
story.
sample size, and like you say, the team's picking it. Probably also a lot of this is the offlane out.
He looks pretty real.
He did. For
right?
a second there, I thought, we got a cosplayer in the house. That would be really cool, by the way. If, like, for one, it would be a cosplayer, and we would just be surprised by it.
Just whole team of cosplayers, like you.
They're ready.
120 people standing by.
Or 120 costumes, low budget ones, and you just hop in. Okay, there you go. You called it really well. The Troll and the Monkey King ban out Ame. Meanwhile, PSG LGD is still banning the Viper. I don't think it was that necessary.
No, I think that's like EG in their head after last game. Like that, I see that ban thinking, man, PSG LGD kind of a bit thrown off.
Even considering they went into reserve time in their first phase, you don't see that very often. Usually teams have a very well prepared first 2, and they did not expect to lose with their best on game 1. Okay, Monkey King, is it going to be the Ancient Apparition? I believe it should be. You don't really want to play against that as an Alchemist.
Yeah, and PSG LGD is very comfortable with it as well. So
one of those heroes that has been played so much on position 5 in the CNDPC.
They're taking their time, though.
Yeah, I think this is usually where you start seeing teams start to chew through that ban time. Like, you have a clear idea of what you want to pick, and you're kind of just second guessing. Are they going to go for this carry or this support? Which is bigger problem? So,
can they pick it themselves? Snatch that AA away? Is that something that they would do?
It's not been... Fly's been very much that Team 5-5 position. We've seen him play Wyvern. We've seen him play the Phoenix from last game, the Tide Hunter. It's possible, I guess, but it would surprise me.
Yeah, Fly is a little wild with the position 5s this tournament, at least.
He's not played the same hero twice. That being said, this is only their 3rd series, so I don't know how much that says.
Not a big sample size.
Yeah,
right?
and they will play a different one again. This is the Keeper of the Light.
New hero for Fly. The stack specialist. You got an Alchemist whose hero can stack for him. And another hero that's pretty good in the damn tri-lane. You have Illuminate in the mix too, so...
Yeah, when you think about Kotal, you can't not remember Insania, just running through the jungle, stacking everything. Didn't work out for them, but they also didn't have Alchemist too many times.
No. True. typically Coddle picked up with a pairing too. So now I think if you're PSG LG and you're EG, you've maybe already got an idea. What are you going to pick with the Coddle? We've seen a lot of Coddle Bristle. We've seen the Coddle Ember. I'm curious to see what EG look to synergize with that Chakra Magic.
Would you still be happy if it was a Coddle Bristle, knowing that Arteezy kind of then either, well, probably has to play the Bristle, or would you swap it around and have
You could still offlane.
Bristle?
Yeah, you could still offlane Bristle. We've seen it a couple of times here.
Because then
But,
they're going to have to fight about the stats.
I'm not a big fan of Coddle Bristle here. I think they're more likely to go for like an Abed Ember or something.
Even this Beastmaster that PSG LGD just took would have been all right with the Kotl. But you have to also remember that this Kotl most likely will be the 5 on the safe lane, and Tusk will be the 1 on the off lane. So maybe we shouldn't look too much into the combinations, at least not the lane combinations.
Yeah, it's more about like the Coddle Ember is less about lane together and more about
Later
that
on in the
mid-game potential of the two heroes.
And we actually have seen that Ember picked into the DP with an early Vessel build to deal with her region. Instead, they go with the Tide.
Yeah, not going to be the Fly Tide here. This is...
Looks like an Ice Tide.
Yep. They really like to pick heroes like Tide when they can get those 1v1 matchups that are favorable. So Tide versus Beastmaster and go for that aggressive trailing could
throughout
be
the game favorable, right?
Yeah.
Because you have Anchor Smash as well versus all the summons. You can stand in front of the tower, defend it.
Good against Pango, you don't get perma-stunned.
But this means Xingqiu probably position for Pango. A very interesting drafting style from PSG LGD right now. Not something that they tend to do way too much, but we talked about Xingqiu. We compared him to Crit.
Yep.
He's extremely PA.
They played Pango position 4 once on Xingqiu this tournament in the group stages against Quincy Crew. They did win that game, but definitely not one of the more common ones for Xingqiu. And what do we make of the PA? It's an early PA.
Yeah, I don't like it. it actually
I don't think we ever liked the
bit.
PA picks that much. Yeah.
Not only that, I don't like it overall. I don't like it into Tide.
Okay.
That's It can be a little bit difficult, I think, of a matchup on the laning stage at least.
Nothing to Say is one of the few players that has actually played Magnus this tournament, though.
That's true.
Mag PA, does that make you like it more, or is it still meh?
It's possible because she does have Beastmaster already, right? And then Mag.
I feel like Mag, you generally need to see your mid matchup a bit, and that's where like we saw it. That I think it was against the Doom, where you're like, okay, I've got this mid hero that I can just farm against. Picking it blind because EG have the last pick, which they've saved for Abed, is possible, but it seems
and that would
risky.
mean that you have a 5 Death Prophet as well, which is definitely doable. Especially even versus the Tide in the lane, I think you could do that. I actually wouldn't mind that Magnus. Maybe a pick such as Magnus would make me believe in the PA a little bit more, because they've picked Magnus in multiple occasions.
Two times, yeah.
In the DPC league as well. It's not even only about the hero that he buffs up. They just play a very mean Magnus, so it's an option.
If EG gets ahead in the lanes, like they do tend to do, Magnus is one of the heroes that will always give you a chance to fight back, regardless of how far you get behind early on. We've actually not seen a whole lot of teams make comebacks after they get behind on lanes. Yep. It's mostly been, the famous Quincy Crew versus Team Liquid is one of the ones where it was possible for Team Liquid to make a comeback after Mega Creeps, but in the upper bracket for sure, it's been like the previous game we just saw.
Do you just put DP mid and pick your position 5 like an Abaddon last, or something that actually benefits the PA, some minus armor?
You can see EG reflecting the flex potential of the Death Prophet. They ban a support and then they ban a core.
Yeah.
So
we see this a lot, right?
Yeah.
Recently, the drafting of these teams is on such a high level that not only it's very difficult to predict who's going to win, but it's also very difficult to predict what the last pick, even what the role is.
Well, for EG, we have a pretty good idea for once where that hero and player combo is going, and PSG LGD.
That's a 5. That's an innocent.
That's a 5.
Yeah, that's an innocence gyrocopter.
But
okay, they want to. I can see their playstyle working out, and Void Spirit last pick.
Pretty value. His hero's gone from like first pick worthy to all right, we'll just take a 10th pick.
Yeah, it's not banned. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so the matchup for DP is good, And I can definitely see this game rolling out of control for PSG LGD the same way the first game rolled out of control for Evil Geniuses. In a style in which you have Death Prophet, you have Beastmaster constantly pressuring your lanes, maybe even buy a Dezo on PA early on, join fights. Gyrocopter extremely strong early on, same with the Tusk. I can see it working.
The Tusk on EG side.
I see also what's coming, Lizard.
But here's let me tell you. Here's why it won't work. That Beastmaster pressuring lane, you have a tide. You just plop the tide wherever the Beastmaster goes. And EG, they have an Alchemist. They're going to secure his farm. They have a Tusk to secure his lane. I just don't think they're going to be able to stop this Alchemist doing Alchemist things.
I'm with God in this one, Lizard.
EG.
Yeah, EG for me too.
I had one right prediction already, so let's mix it up. I'm rooting for Game 3, PSG LGD.
I mean, Game 3 would be really cool.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Are doing. I'm not taking any kind of damage, and I think that's what EG is going to do, and that's a recipe for success.
Are you sharing that opinion, Owen?
I think so. I'm seeing a draft from EG where they're getting their hands on the crit Tusk to open, and then as the final pick, you know, PSG LGD, they're like, ooh, we got to support Gyro, and then boom, EG's like, Arbed Void Spirit. You know, I know which draft finisher I prefer.
Yeah, I agree with you as well, but I'm going to hope for at least a competitive Game 2 here in the upper bracket finals. Let's see if PSG LGD can force out a third game of this series, or if EG will just secure their spot in the grand finals. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much. Let's see, obviously PSG LGD having to do something a bit different to what they've been getting away with the wins that they've had so far. This game, we're seeing them bring out the PA, a hero, a carry that just, it hasn't been carrying games, Lacoste.
No, I checked the Dota buff when they picked it. It has 22.22% win rate. It's a nice number, but it doesn't give you too much confidence in winning the game.
No. So let's see. Let's see if they can do something a little bit different. Obviously, they've had to change it up after Game 1. Game 1, they were completely figured out by EG. Here they're trying a little bit of maybe an approach that EG may not prepared for. Obviously, we have seen the support Gyro before, but maybe PSG LGD are going to be able to do something a little different with it and play aggressive enough and catch EG off guard. As that fifth final pick, you've got to imagine that they do feel that there's some power to having it as their last reveal in the draft.
I see Crit using the fist bump voice line. The first thing that comes to my mind is like shoulder bump. So yeah, back to the aggressive tri-lane. Like, they have so much pressure. You have acid spray, you have a tag team. This is just like so much damage coming out from and the illuminate. Like, I'm not sure. Okay, so they know something is up. They're gonna
change it.
They're gonna change it up.
As of course, Crit is getting the block soon, making sure that they're going to have to deal with the creeps meeting underneath the tower and maybe even give a chance for the tri-lane of EG to make an early aggressive move. I see already starting things over onto Faith Beyond. Arteezy for some body blocks, but the Quelling Blade, Faith Beyond not going to stand any trouble cutting his way over towards the creep wave. But it is under the tower, so of course it is going to push out in EG's favor.
So they will keep an aggressive, like two heroes bottom. Tidehunter will need help. Like Innocence on the Gyrocopter with the rocket once he hits level 2. Tidehunter is just not tanky enough, so they will need to help out Tidehunter. I don't think ISSI's... Like, lane is pushing in, so this is not too bad, actually. Like, ISSI is just using a salve and the one tango. He also wanted to go for Orb of Venom, but since he's not playing in 1 versus 1 scenario, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get levels out of this lane, ISSI. I guess so the question is if EG are happy just giving Arme a free start to the game. You know, Arme on the PA, with just a tide around, with Y able to come in each and every time with the waves to push ISSI's back. Arme should have free farm in this game.
He should, but, you know, Alchemist... If he's free farming, if he's getting the Battle Fury, his timing is just a bit stronger, a bit faster on that Battle Fury, and then you have this like window of opportunity to just go in and do stuff around the map, force them to take a fight. Jin Q wants to drag the creep wave.
Okay, we'll see Crit come over to deal with him as well as Fly. And heading into...
Safe lane, dragging the creep wave. I don't think I've seen this before.
We'll see where he takes it. He's taking it on a little bit of a tour.
Buckle up, taking you for a ride.
Well, he's going to be able to swing around, get a couple of creep waves.
This is such a godly move from Jin-Q here.
We're just double stacking the wave here to make sure that it pushes in onto Faith Bian. And that Faith Bian's able to get the creep wave a bit closer to his tower again with this double wave coming out together. Of course, EG making the moves. Crit coming up to the top, ready to start making some pulls and to get Ice's lane in a bit of a better position for himself.
I don't think Alchemist dies on the bottom lane. They still have like kill potential possibly if PSG LGD decides to go in deep. There is an acid spray level 2. They have Illuminate. It's just so much damage. 16-second duration on acid spray at all levels is just so powerful. You can't stand in it. Arteezy drops it underneath the tower. Once enemy mid laner hits level 6, like you might need to be in the jungle. Like you can't stay on the bottom because there is a kill potential on you. It's not one of the best heroes to rotate. It's not like Puck with the coil. It's not one of the spirits that can just go in. It's a Dead Prophet with the Spirit Siphon, so he might stay like 30 seconds, a minute longer on the bottom lane.
Seeing on this bottom lane as well, just an excellent amount of denying being done by Arteezy. You can see already a complete level between him and
Yeah,
Faith
they're playing the bottom lane nicely. They go in, they push the wave, and then they pull it to the side.
Jin-Q, he did swashbuckle in on this, so Fly, he's going to build up the Illuminate.
One more hit.
Oh, and they've got him, Arteezy. Spits out the acid spray. That's going to be a first blood for Artur.
Maybe if it was the old patch, because right now it deals damage straight away. You know, before it needed a second to kick in for whatever reason. And now he got him. That's why I was so surprised that he had actually just got a kill straight away.
This lane's going to get very hard for Faith Bian to really stay in. Jin-Q trying to do his best to push back Fly. But, might even get the kill here, Fly. Jin-Q not quite able to commit. Fly able to get close enough to the tower, pops the salve. Jin-Q turned towards Arteezy, but Arteezy happy to stand his ground and punch back. Jin-Q's got to back off.
Man, they just don't pressure Arteezy with Beastmaster and
Courier.
Pagod. You know, they have a lot of slows, but standing inside the acid spray, like you try to fight them, they're gonna just blast you. And now Crit is on the bottom lane. He's trying to secure the bounty.
Same to be said for White. White also coming over. There's pressure underneath the tower. You see Faith Bian, he's having to play so scared. He's hiding in the trees. See over the bouncy rune, Crit able to pick it up before Jin-Q can grab it. That will be 3 of the 4 bouncy runes hit for EG. Bottom lane, Faith Bian having to continue to hide as he's got no regen. Salve's on the way out.
Yeah, just
Arteezy
hide.
knows this. He's hunting now. Faith Bian's looking pretty dead here if they get vision of him. Crit coming over as well as Faith Bian. He needs help. He needs it now. Jin-Q's going to come over with the swashbuckle. And now Jin-Q's also put himself in a bit of a difficult position. Jin-Q, he'll also... Ooh, is he going to live? Fly, can he get him? Salve's going to keep Jin-Q alive. So Jin-Q able to save himself. Arteezy with the safe play.
He was like super afraid. I guess he did not want to get slowed down. Phase Boots will be able to get him. Doesn't even pop the Fairy Fire. No need.
Jin-Q, Arteezy might be able to get him as well.
He has Phase Boots. He's just going to run him down.
Here we go. One more punch. Boom! Arteezy.
He gets a level 6 from that. Drops in a Ring of Health.
All right.
Oh, he has a Chemical Rage.
Yep.
This is just disaster, this bottom lane. Keeper of the Light will come back. Keeper of the Light's level 4.5, 6 minutes in. You have... This was like a tri-lane from the start.
Meanwhile, what's happening
and
in
he's
the
level
mid?
6.
Nothing to say. He's trying to get in onto Arbeb. We've got Crit and Fly coming in with a rotation. Arbeb bottling up. A little too low on the HP to get back in on this. We'll see the TP over from Ice. Does have Ravage good to go if they sees an opportunity to fight. And he's going to pop it straight away. Instantly with a TP in. Nothing to say. He was not expecting that at all. I mean, he sees the Tide TPing in. He just stands right on top of it. Ice just presses R and he's gone.
He was like, no way that he's going to use a Ravage on me.
And Ice is just like instantly tentacles
that was Shift Ravage. Like he was so ready for that.
Yeah,
the good thing for PSG LGD is that Ame is having a much better game this time around. Like, he's not being pressured. But as I said, you know, Alchemist, 2 points in Grievous Greed. He is getting more farm. He's getting the kills.
I mean, 3-0-1 on an Alchemist at this point, and as we saw, there's some solo kills, solo XP really, as he was left to clean up Arteezy. It really doesn't get to be much of a better start for the Arteezy Alch.
They also have some stacks made for him. So when I talked about him being, you know, forced to get out of the lane, I don't think it should happen. Top lane, nothing to say. With the rotation, yeah, this should be a dead tide. So he does not need to care about rotations, because if they go on him, he has a chemical rage. He can just free farm the lane.
And just Faith Beyond is going to have to find some sort of way to pick up the levels, really. You know, they're still struggling to get anywhere close to the level 6. It's going to be a slow game for getting the Roar online. And see, Arbed was thinking about maybe making the jump onto him. May still do so off the back of this smoke, as Faith Beyond sticking around. Arbed, he's going to be ready to close in. Straight onto the Beastmaster, Faith Beyond to fall, as they'll further push back his game.
So bottom tower dropping low. Arteezy is just getting the maximum amount of farm, dragging the creep wave, farming both small camp and the creeps, and also putting some pressure on the tower. Like, it just does not get better than this. Like, this is going to be pre-10-minute Battle Fury.
Yeah, this is insane. And as you say, Ame doing his best to keep up. And that's pretty much the same CS, but just not the same amount of kill involvement, of course. And he doesn't have that Grievous Greed. So the farm, the Battle Fury, it's going to be slower. It's acceleration from Arteezy, especially with the tower getting taken as well. It's going to be insane. Around the mid lane, the attempt onto Ice, goes the route. Crit by his side, no further dive to be added by PSG LGD. They'll look for the objective. Arbed is swinging around from the side. And already White, he's been trapped. Came up onto the high ground a little too far. Ice crit, they'll turn towards him. Arbed in with the Simulate. Ravage comes out as Ice tries to save himself. Arbed will be able to pick off White in the back lines, and that Ravage will stop. Nothing to say from being able to close the gap onto Ice.
They get the kill. Arteezy on the bottom lane, free farming, just needs one extra creep to finish off the battle. This might be the fastest battle. This must be, you know, Noxel's already typing in, like, let's see if this is it. Probably is, that's just my guess. And they've set up already a deep vision. Like, they have one observer ward scouting out the lane. Like, this ward on the bottom lane does not get dewarded. Like, there's no way that this gets dewarded. No, and also deep one, so like Arteezy is pretty set. Like, they wanted to set him up for a good game, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, this is ridiculous timing from Arteezy. As again, EG, their laning has just been, it's just been so good in all of the games we've seen. And good variety with the way that they've been doing it too. Very flexible, they're always ready to adapt to the opponent. And here against PSG LGD, they set the lanes up just like in game 1 for them to really have this strong edge. And they've really forced the advantage.
Oh, he didn't stack. Like, Dragon's Tail was inside, so he didn't stack the Ancients, unfortunately.
Arbed playing around with White. Oh, nice little illusion rune there to dodge the missile. That'll allow Arbed to stay on target and take him down.
I don't know how you kill this guy. I just don't think... He's going for the casual Sanj type of a build, which I really like. That item is so good, giving damage, HP, status resistance, self-HP amplification.
I mean, the thing is as well, if last game was anything to go by, I don't know if PSG LGD know how to kill Arbed at all. Last game, remember, he did not die. Ended the game 11-0-14, so continuing his deathless streak here into game 2.
You know what my biggest problem is with, like, Twitch chat? I don't know if it's a POG or if it's Komodo hype now. Like, I'm getting confused, because you can just see it, but you need to hover with your mouse over it to see what it actually is.
I mean,
because, like, you don't know if it's a POG play or if it's, like, Komodo hype type of a play, or if they're referring to dragons.
I mean, they do like the dragons.
Yeah, dragons are pretty popular nowadays.
It's mid lane. White. He is here ready to back him up. Not quite having the 6 on the gyro. Ice. He's got Ravage in a few seconds, so he's happy for them to go. And they will. They'll come in here with the Exorcism. So Arbed, he's already been able to take down the PA. We'll see if EG want to try and bring over the rest of them to get a fight going mid. Trying to do their best to push. Nothing to say away from the tower whilst the Exorcism goes to work. Nothing to say, still able to get in. Take down the tower. Objective is taken. Ice. Still feeling relatively tanky with the hood, but of course the Exorcism, physical damage still punching through it.
5k gold lead, 12 minutes in. Tidehunter does not like to play into that profit because I've seen so many like Tide versus DP matchups where DP just runs him down, uses a Spirit Siphon. You cannot dispel that with the Exorcism. You have enough speed to actually just run him down, and yeah, might force Ravage. This time around, like, they have so much also minus armor. The damage coming up from Tusk, let's say someone stands inside the Acid Spray with the Gush, Crit can one-shot him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, Crit has been on point. Like, this guy is just amazing. You know, whenever he plays Tusk, he always goes for the same item build, which I already said, Drums of Endurance, and then gets a Blink Dagger. But he's so active with the hero. He snowball saves to dodge certain spells. Like, even on the mid lane, we saw it already. It's just amazing to watch. Fly, also getting a ton of farm, has a fluffy hat. Going towards the Force Staff, which I really like. Great against the Beastmaster, push people out.
They've got the pressure coming in on the mid now, Abed. See if he's able to sweep round and find anyone from behind. I mean, as you anticipated as well, these wards that EG got down in the jungle, the PSG LGD, they're here for the full duration.
Yeah, they're not dewarding that, and they are controlling the jungle. Everyone else is playing, you know, ranked, while Arteezy is playing turbo mode in this game.
It certainly seems it when you look at his items already coming out. As, you know, there's just no real way that Arme can keep up. You know, he's a PA, Arteezy's an Alchemist. Arteezy 4k ahead. And that difference just growing with every single minute of farming. That's full S&Y done. S&Y Battle Fury 13 minutes in. These insane item time is continue to fly out for Arteezy.
Like, even with the Battle Fury, Phantom Assassin still does not farm as much as Alchemist. He almost has double the net worth at the moment. 14 minutes in. This is just insane.
That's mid. We'll find Ice alone, and with a good angle on the Rolling Thunder, Xingqiu will have the lockdown.
One play that they could potentially do with the Exorcism, not this one, because they already lost some of the duration, is try to go in and sneak the Roshan. Both of these teams have a really good Rosh lineup. Like, next fight, whoever wins it could potentially go in. EG, they need Tusk, they need the tag team to be able to do it. But with the Exorcism, with Phantom Assassin, Necrobook from the Beastmaster, PSG LGD, they also have enough damage.
For sure, especially if they were able to wait as well, PSG LGD, until they get the Deso on PA. And Roshan will stand no chance at all. But, of course, with the deficit that they're at right now compared to EG, and the fact that the EG do have solid fight around the pit, it's definitely not going to be something that they'll be able to just walk into. Size always ready with the Ravage. And Abed very close to having the Yule Scepter done, so it'll be a lot harder to get in and on top of. It's easy. Next item already out. Blink Dagger's done. Now he's going to be working on that BKB to make sure that he himself will be fight ready.
He's still not joining, you know, he's just farming, enjoys killing those creeps. Blink Dagger, S&Y. Like, they could potentially force a fight inside the pit. There's still a tier 1 tower standing on the mid lane.
With this Blink reveal from Arteezy. They're straight in. And Yule's is done. We'll see if they can take down Nothing on the way down. They can. Ravage popped immediately, leaving no
Zoning
chance.
Ravage, like, there was... maybe he was thinking, you know, they will go from the trees because he didn't see anything. Or maybe he was... I don't know. Definitely not a needed Ravage there because they had the Tusk. But, yeah, they will still get the tower from it. Lines drawn on the minimap. PSG LGD, they seem so afraid.
Understandably so. As now Arteezy's able to start claiming farm from PSG LGD's triangle. They're going to start to head up, maybe see if they can push him back. White, backed up by Arme. The attempt to start something onto Fly. Xingqiu, yeah, he's going to come in with a Rolling Thunder. Oh, big crit. Comes out from Arme onto Fly. Now actually caught Arteezy here inside the pit. Jump in from Arme. They're going to be able to find Arteezy. It's a double kill for Arme. They're not done yet.
Yeah,
Jump
they will
up,
go
a
back
triple
inside the pit. Like, he got stuck inside the pit. Usually it's on the cliff, but this time around, inside the pit, like, the minus armor coming out from this is just too much. This is the play that I was talking about. Not necessarily need to sneak inside the Roche pit, but take a fight near the Roche pit where the exorcism is running, and then go in and take it.
I mean, that's
a baller move.
Exploded out of nowhere. EG were not ready for that. You know, EG very much feeling that they could get away with taking some of the triangle away from Arma. He was not going to let that pass.
Problem is they did not have Ravage. Like, they used Ravage on the mid lane, got only 1 kill out of it, so they could have played a bit more passive.
Now we'll see it again. Of course, a beautiful crit to start off the action there, just eliminating Fly from this plane of existence.
Yeah,
and then Arteezy's like just kind of stuck in the pit. He headed in there initially to try and hide them.
Yeah, PTZ could not get out of there.
And now there's a Deso done on Arme. Now that fight, those crits, that was coming up before the Deso.
So with the Desolator, like, they're gonna have a lot of damage. Like, these heroes don't have too much armor, especially Keeper of the Light. Like, we can see what Arme can do, even pre-Deso, like how much damage he can deal.
Crits right now. Fly is not going to stand a chance if the RNG comes through for Arme. I'll be able to get that rune before Arme gets in on it. Before Nothing to Say gets in on it. And with the Invis, maybe able to set something up. They've got the Exorcism back in 30, but we'll be around the time. Yeah, so it's already with the Ravage good to go for a second round.
Ravage is ready. They also have a Blink Dagger, so it's going to be much easier for him to just jump in. Also, Tidehunter does not have like any hero in this game that he's really afraid of, besides like Dead Prophet Silence. And if they don't focus him, just to silence and play around him, but he should be able to get the Ravage off if they try to focus him. It's pretty much the Necro units. Like, he does not want to get his mana burn. Pretty limited on the mana, but we'll see. He's going to probably stay in the back lines and like get the first jump anyway.
He's just going to look to get his farm back on. Get that BKB done before the next fight. Ooh, we are going to have Crit in a bit of a spot of bother here as Arme and Faith behind a fountain. The backup comes in, but Crit's gone RTZ with a 2-man concoction though. Jumps over, gets both of them.
Oh, nice
both
dodge.
Faith behind and Arme. Arme's down the once. White heading in with the cooldown. See if Arme's able to get any more kills out of this. Turns over towards RTZ, jumps in with the dagger. The Phantom Strike, RTZ silence Arme. Gets a second. 2 kills here for the PA and PSG LGD. They're not done. They're looking over towards Arbed.
He's out of spells. Has the Ult Scepter for himself. Maybe to buy a bit more time.
The damage. Arbed, he's up in the air. One more crit would do it. Arme looking for the kill. He's going to be able to find it here. The Ghost cleaning up Arbed. As another team fight where Arme is just getting set up into the action. And these kills are really allowing him to catch right back up as this PA is looking pretty spooky for EG. It seems that they can't quite deal with it.
Oh, he's dealing so much damage right now, especially with the level 50. Like, they had the Aegis, he respawns. Alchemist doesn't have much armor. Like, he has the status resistance while ulti is running. He also has some, you know, extra regeneration from that ulti. SNY keeping him with the status resistance, but needs armor. Like, he's just gonna get blown up by the Phantom Assassin. They can lock him down. Like, this game is, you know, when you have Alchemist as a carry, you need to stay ahead. I think they lost like 7-8k gold lead in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we've had at least 2 back-to-back fights now where Arme's just been involved in about, you know, so these 7 back-to-back kills. After the death, so BKB, just a recipe away for Arme. Yeah, Arteezy's got to get sort of these next items done. The BKB, the AC, that's when things start to get a little better again against the PA, but with these hits that Arme's coming in with,
he's closing in. He's closing in the gap. Only 3k net worth more than Arme at the moment, but Arme, once he gets a BKB, he's really not afraid of any of the abilities. Like, the only ability that goes through Magic Immunity is Volrus Punch, which he's fine with. You know, they just can't lock him down.
See why. He's going to spot out Crit. So if Arme wants to get involved in this.
This revealed the ward, so should get devorted. This time around, PSG LGD managed to kill only 1 tower. Nothing to say. BKB done. Just BKB is a must-have in this game.
Yeah, for the next team fight, they'll have BKB in both cores. Arme and Nothing to Say. That'll make the jump from EG even more important to get. As we've seen, if it's going to be that of the Ravage of Ice, there will be that window for Ame to react and get the BKB off before the Tentacles attack him.
Tier 1 tower, very low. Ravage is available, as you said. But they're not going to go for it. Oh, and you told me a story about Ice, why he's called like that. I didn't even know that. Can you, explain that?
I wonder if the viewers knew that. I was having a
Please
shower
explain
thought
it.
this morning. The Ice.
And you were thinking about Ice.
I was, as you
Okay.
do in the shower. And Ice, it means ice cube, doesn't it? Because ice times ice is ice cubed. It's ice cube. I thought that was very smart of him. He's a smart man, you know. And I was just like, wow. You know, it's one of those moments.
No, I was
in
blown
life.
away when he told me the
Yeah,
story. That's why I'm
ice
not reacting. I
is
can't really.
ice cubed.
Yeah, I can't fake my reaction. That's
No.
why I was just silent, because I can't be blown away twice by this fact.
Well, I feel like we've all learned something today. I think chat might as well. A cube, by the way, is when you time something by itself, just in case any of you haven't done maths. I know it's a very complex, complex mathematics. Yeah, it's ice cubed.
Very interesting.
Very, very interesting. Ice. Oh, he's in a bit of a spot of bother here as the setup's in. Jinkyu, he's going to get this nice angle, and in fact, he's under the tower as well. Ice.
They are controlling him.
Looking pretty dead here.
So EG, they lost so much advantage.
They lost the
and
flow
they
of this
gave
game.
PSG LGD ability to come back into this game. Ame, he has a bottle from Nothing to Say. Double damage, still up and running for about 15 seconds. Exorcism popped. Ame, teeping top. They're just out. They feel, you know, we're fine with this. Like, we have Phantom Assassin. It's a super strong late game. He's going for Sanj on PA.
Pretty much, that as you do on every single carrot.
Yeah, just get the casual Sanj.
Yep. Never a bad item to pick up in your build. Seeing all the top teams in the world do this on pretty much most of the heroes. Doesn't even have to be a strength hero. Sanj is always going to be nice in the build-up. Oh, fly. He's got to run. But Ice coming in. Jinkyu. The Ravage come out with the BKB immediately there from Ame. Ame jumps over towards RTZ. RTZ commits with the BKB, but the rolls out from Faith Beyond. Looking
Where
down
the crits
RTZ,
at? There they are.
From Ame takes down RTZ. Over towards Critty goes. The BKB from Ame now coming to an end. Ame controlling him with the Remnant. Ame getting low, but he turns. Another crit. Another crit.
He's just
Ame
cleaning up.
Triple kill. Is flying Arbed. The last two left alive. They've got to run. Ame's going to look to get back in the dagger. Flying over towards Arbed. Arbed over to the tree line with the Dissimulate. PSG LGD, they're going to continue to chase. Arbed, what's he got left? Dagger in. Force to the side, missiles on his way over. Arbed, he's going to get stunned.
Give him the rampage.
Yeah, give him the godlike.
No, it was not enough, man. That crit, like, he was so fast with the BKB. Dodged the Ravage, got the 2 crits. On the Alchemist,
yeah.
I think it's a mistake for Alchemist to buy a Hyperstone instead of Plate Mail there, because...
Oh, we did? That is a bit greedy.
Like, it's super greedy, especially, you know, because Phantom Assassin has that death, so they have the minus armor.
And look at Ame. BKB off. Perfect reaction to the Ravage of Ice. Excellent
Perfect
play
crits.
from Faith Beyond. Brilliant roar, just locks down Arteezy for a good duration of the BKB.
And look at how much they helped him. Like, they used the healing salve. They're just healing him up. I believe there was also a Spirit Vessel coming out from the Pangolier. So he's kind of full HP, fight ready. Roshan, respawn. They have the vision with the Hawk inside the pit, plus the Solar Crest. So this is going to hurt. Like, I love Fates Beyond itemization of this one. Like, no shenanigans. I'll get the Necro Book. I'll get the Solar Crest just to amplify the amount of damage that my carry is doing.
There we go. Roshan done. Aegis. And Chi's been held onto now by Ame. We'll see if we pass the Cheese over to potentially nothing to say.
Cheese is mine.
And this, I mean, how do they kill him in these fights? This evasion, the blur is just doing so much. I mean, Arteezy, there is going to. Does he have to build an MKB in his build this game to be able to carry?
Yeah, they don't have enough. Like, they can't deal with him, so it's an item that Alchemist does not want to buy, but might be forced to buy it here. Either that, or you might like try to get a Bloodthorn, but then you don't, you know, have it for BKB. I mean, they just slowed him down so much.
Yeah, the fights that EG did choose to take that they just couldn't kill Arme have just done so much for Arme. There's Arme, level 20, and only just behind that of what has been for the most part a free farming Alchemist. Arme closing the gap. Zartizi, AC, that's 100 gold away. So they will have the AC up and running for the next fight, giving a little bit of protection to himself and his teammates from this high burst physical damage that Arme is jumping in with.
They need some kind of armor. Tidehunter building into Solar Crest. I like it. Just try to tank up, give it to your Alchemist. Keeper of the Light, defending himself with the possible Ghost Scepter. Crit also wants to get a Solar Crest. But since you have like 2,000 gold, you're probably just gonna get a Blink Dagger anyway.
Gonna make the sweep over towards the top lane. Only crit there at the moment. Not the juiciest of targets. Crit's out as well. TP's away. Ags is now done on Arbed, and Blink is there on Crit. So Crit's gonna have a better chance of getting in with the saves. Very important to try and buy some time for heroes that are getting jumped upon by Arme.
Nothing to say. He was thinking about getting the Shiva's Guard, now has the Lotus Orb queued up. I also wouldn't mind him like getting Eon Disc just to be able to have something against that like first jump. They can potentially burst him, as we've seen in the previous fight, you know, with the Alchemist and the Tidehunter.
Ice.
He just blinks in.
And Arme's just going to turn straight towards him. Will be forced to safety by a fly, but Shinky's going to come in with Rolling Thunder. Ice still left up on the high ground. The Remnant will grab Arme momentarily. EG, they're considering if they can get in on this. Ice, he's going to pop the Ravage, but he's going to die. EG cannot fight around this. They've got to bail.
There's no follow-up. Like, nothing to say. Used BKB prematurely. This is why I said, you know, the Tidehunter doesn't feel comfortable playing in the Dead Prophet, especially if Dead Prophet just itemizes into second item BKB, which I really like. And they're not stopping. Like, they're just gonna go. Status resistance, item done on Phantom Assassin, SNY plus Deso, level 20, -3 armor. Just so much minus armor. He also has Fan of Knives, which I just noticed, so he can break the Tidehunter.
Yeah, just picked it up here for that last fight. Get the jump in onto him. BKB's popped. Arteezy trying to commit, but now Arteezy's got to run. As there's the chase from Arme, jumps in, it's going to back off. Doesn't want to dive too deep past the tower.
This is actually a really good shard upgrade. You know, damage type is pure, 12% of max HP, so like everyone's super tanky, plus you apply the break. This is some old stuff from Dota 1 days. What was, yeah, you don't know. I was trying to ask my co-caster about the name, about the name that Phantom Assassin had in Dota 1.
Oh, I know the answer to that one.
You know? Okay,
yeah.
go ahead. I forgot.
It was Bob.
Bob, yeah. Bobby. Good old Bobberino.
Bob's Blur, you know. Bob's Blade. That's what they used to call the abilities.
Yeah.
Very intimidating.
Can we evade it?
Watch
yes,
out
we
for
can.
Bob.
Oh, chat knows. It's Mordred. Yeah. Thank you, chat.
Chat, they're very ancient.
Your anger is useless.
Been around for a long time, chat. We know. They were playing Dota before it even came out. That's how advanced they are, the viewers. That's why we respect
Yeah, they know all the secrets. They know all the names.
Satanic's going to be next on the list for Arme. I mean, how did they kill this PA? How on earth did they do? I feel that until there's an MKB, or maybe with the Rapier queued up, he needs the Rapier.
Yeah, this is like true strike. Okay,
you got to go for
it's all in.
Yep.
They understand that game is getting out of control. They're not farming much. They see, you know, this lineup is gonna scale. Like, they have so many stuff. You have Phantom Assassin, you have Dead Prophet, like Beastmaster is also heavy right clicker. Pangolier. This Pango, Jin-Q Pango, we didn't talk too much about it, but he has pretty much the same amount of farm as Ice at the moment.
But no, RTG has to do this. You know, without a Rapier, they are never killing Arme. This is the only route that could allow EG to turn things around. They get that jump, any sort of initiate. If they're able to get the Ravage and the RTZ with the follow-up concoction, with the Rapier, should be enough lockdown to beat through this PA. With any other sort of build, it's just never getting done. Arme's going to live every time.
DP with the casual AC. Okay, not too bad. Just tanking up the whole team pretty much.
I like it.
I'm wondering what he's gonna drop, because he has a Blink Dagger if he needs that to initiate. Can't... maybe if they find possibly like Spider Legs.
Oh, what, for Arteezy?
Yeah, and then he can drop the phase boots.
Yeah, I guess that's the dream for him. Yeah, so he can free up another slot.
How many tier 3 items do they got? They found Ceremonial Robe. They found
they found them all.
Quickening Charm.
There's not going to be any Spider Legs today for him. They've already found the 3. No, sorry, yeah, they've found... No, you're right. Yeah, they found 3. There's still one to be found. So they need the... So RNG needs to be good for EG. I think you're absolutely right. They're definitely hoping for a Spider Legs for that 4th drop from the...
Because he wants to kill. Like, he wants to have the clean, wants to have status resistance.
It is, and it's a quickening charm. So no Spider Legs for Arteezy this game. He's going to have to just work with the 6 slots that he's been given. I mean, obviously, if he can eventually get that blink upgraded to a swift blink, then the phase boots are less necessary, because he's still going to be able to get the jump and have a chance to chase.
Wait for tier 4 items. Maybe you get the one that also gives you move speed, the flicker. My brain stopped working for a second.
Full satanic. Done on Armin. Of course, that dream.
Oh, they still had one item. Paladin sword. All right, he'll take that.
Wait, what? I swear.
Divine Rapier.
I don't know what I was looking at then.
So yeah, he needs to get rid of the phase boots. I think neutral items are bugged.
Yeah.
Jin Q.
Oh no, okay, I was just being stupid. Anyway, standard stuff. We have to jump onto Jin Q. And now the moves of EG have
They still don't know. They
careful.
still don't know that he has a Divine Rapier. Smoked for another 5-6 seconds.
Yeah.
Next Roche may respawn in 15.
Swift blink next for Arteezy. I think ideally they want to get that done before they really try and commit with the Rapier in a fight. So certainly may just be forced to fight sooner.
Fade Beyond has a shard upgrade. That's one of the best shards for sure. Where it's not about that, you know, damage or stun, even though I've seen Fade Beyond do some amazing things. Once he can control the Hawk, it's about being able to move the Hawk and just control vision. It's just so good. Imagine having Invis Observer Ward that you can control. It's like having Techie's Minds move around the map, pretty much.
They're flying. Where's the smoke up from EG? EG, they're going to walk into a blur. It's going to give the chance for the BKB to come off in from Arme. As Arteezy tries to stay on target, has got down from the Rapier, but with the Satanic, Arme, he's back up to full HP. Jumps over towards Ice, the Ravage comes down, the BKB comes through, and Arteezy's in, and he's taken Arme down. Ice perfectly holding the Ravage, ready for the BKB to end, gets the kill. We'll see Arme getting caught in the combo on the high ground, roar out onto Arteezy. Arteezy needs help, they're in on top of it, Crit comes in with a snowball save, buyback from the two of them, Arbed and Ice, they're on their way back over Arteezy. He needs help, and he needs it now, but he goes down. Arbed will be able to recover the Rapier, can he get it back to safety? As he's up in the air, Astral Step ready, and still into Simulate, Arbed's got to run. He's got to save it. Arbed's got to get that back to base. As he's running, PSG LGD, they're trying to chase, but Arbed will manage to save the Rapier.
Yeah, 2 buybacks just to secure that Rapier. Roshan just respawned. He had enough. Maybe he got hit by something, but Snowball, Blink Dagger was available. I don't think it would matter that much because still Chemical Rage was not ready. Ame, gone for 40 seconds. That was such a clutch Ravage, though, coming out from Ice. Perfectly timed, pretty much. BKB done. They get him. Managed to able to kill him.
Let's start the commit. Of course, the lifesteal, the Satanic is going to do wonders. Arme straight back up to full, but just as the BKB ends, I think pretty much cast him when the BKB is going, knowing that it's going to end by the time the tentacles reach out and grab him, even though he's right next to him. Ice presses it perfectly, but PSG LGD still able to come in with the stronger fight. As soon as BKB's down on Arteezy, he's vulnerable. Crit tries his best, but it's just too much. With the ghosts out, Arteezy just melts.
Yeah, it's just too much damage. That Prophet standing on top of you with the AC. Roshan still not dead. They're waiting for Ahmed to respawn because he does not have buyback.
And we'll let the full lineup of EG back into play, but no Ravage for 50 seconds. Arteezy's going to make his way back over. Rapier picked back up. Here we go. Roshan to be taken very, very quickly here by PSG LGD. Is there going to be any chance to get in? There's not. Crit tries, but Roshan's already gone. Arme just turns towards Crit. 1,600 damage as Crit's gone out of the game. Arme over towards Arteezy. The Roar, the Crits are there. Arteezy's down as they'll manage to kill him off. 10 for 80, and it's over with the Rapier gone. GG is called as Game 2 will be taken by PSG LGD as Arme's PA just pops up.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Yeah, the Arteezy just couldn't stay far enough ahead, and they just never had the ways to burst through the PA, you know, build perfect itemization from Arme this game, just in a way that never gave any sort of window for EG to kill him. They had to go for this Rapier on the Alchemist to stand any sort of chance, but by that time, the rest of PSG LGD was just too big to deal with.
Yeah, they just did not have enough. Ame was becoming a monster. As you mentioned, great itemization coming out from him. And in the end, like, they needed to take a risk. Go for that Divine Rapier. They were feeling that game is kind of slipping away from them. So they try. In the end, they lose. But, you know, definitely a close game. You know, great comeback coming out from PSG LGD.
Yeah, the series absolutely heating up now, though, as Game 2 being taken by PSG LGD. It's 1-1 between them and EG. Can't wait for the deciding Game 3.
You and me both, Owen. That was an amazing performance by PSG LGD. You love to see it going the full distance here in the upper bracket finals. EG, PSG LGD, and PSG LGD taking this game gods. We're going to start at the beginning, though, because they EG did lane it the way we expected. They went for the aggressive trial lane. It looked like it was going good for EG.
It did. I think PSG LGD made a smart move. They didn't just lane it the, you know, expected way, and the way that EG has seen before, where Ice gets a 1v1 matchup. He wanted the Beastmaster, PSG LGD, swap it up, and that guaranteed that Ame had the farm to kind of come back and carry this game. It was a comeback because EG's lanes crushed it.
Yeah, but that's truly the point, right? If you're going to run this aggressive trial lane once or twice throughout the tournament, teams such as PSG LGD, they will adapt to it 100%. And they did. However, that didn't win them the game. Later on, itemization from Arteezy, even though it's not extraordinary what he went for with the early Blink Dagger, it didn't work out for them because perhaps they needed maybe a little bit earlier BKB or maybe that AC a little bit earlier.
You're trying to be very gentle with his choice of items.
I'm trying to be very gentle, but in a game such as this one, you cannot make mistakes.
Yeah.
We were in the green room. The first team fight they lost, I said that they lost the game, right?
Yeah.
Because what? PA gets a Dezo on top of an Aegis from a single team fight. You cannot fight her anymore.
For me, maybe less the items, but more the mistakes. Like, I think maybe if you go for the earlier BKB, you have that bit more of a room for error, but you don't want to go for an early BKB and kind of, you know, ruin your game. You
Maybe
can
AC.
Arteezy frustrated.
Yeah, he was also a little bit unlucky with the amount of crits coming out from Ame. Definitely that fight that you're talking about, that fight around the Roche. I don't think I'm ever in a team that has PA critting as often as Ame did.
Yeah, I saw that in the lobby before. He was preparing. He was sitting creeps with the PA, praying to RNG God as well. Yeah.
No, it worked out. It worked out great for them, and did like Abed's attempt to save the Rapier.
The great heist.
The great heist was successful, but only temporarily. PSG LGD, I love that they were able to identify when they should just go and never back down, because once they won that fight, they did make sure that they found Arteezy every single time.
I think a lot of teams with that start think they need to fall back into this. Let's farm and wait for PA to come online with like Battle Fury, Deso, BKB. They were like, no, let's go now before this Alp gets BKB. Let's catch him. They catch him in the pit. They kill him. They secure Roche and just completely turn the game around. I love the confidence from PSG LGD. That's the kind of play I think most of the other teams in this tournament haven't shown when they've fallen behind.
Yeah, especially with the PA. We have not seen PA be as dominant as Ame's PA this game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good matchup versus the Alchemist, right? He doesn't really want to build into any items that deal with her, except the AC, which came way too late for them. But also, they revealed the item build. They revealed everything by by jumping, nothing to say on the mid lane. He did tank the gank, but after that they just turned. He didn't buy back, but he respawned on time to fight the Rosh pit. And yeah, just killed off the Alchemist.
Killed off the Alchemist, killed off EG, at least for this game, because we will go to a third. Very happy with that. Who is the MVP from PSG LGD? Because can we give it to Ame? His job was to find the right peak. I think, you know, crits, very nice for him to get, but overall, I think as a carry, recognizing when you should not farm and join the team for fighting, even if it's not your typical style, and that is, to me, saying top tier caliber carry. I mean, we knew he was,
Yep.
but in this game particularly.
Yeah, he was active. He showed his flexibility, busting out a hero that wasn't Monkey King Troll. You know, that's been not even a knock necessarily, but at least something that's been a bit predictable from LGD in a lot of games is first two picking his hero. This time he said, no, we're not going to first to it. That ruined us last game. Let's wait and put him on something he's less comfortable on, but he crushed it.
One of the things that I've noticed from these two teams so far when it comes to the drafting is they're very well prepared for the top picks of the other team, and they will adjust their complete draft, pick something extraordinary out of the ordinary, let's put it that way, to win against it. Monkey King in the first game, something that PSG LGD is winning game after game with, gets countered by a completely off-meta pick of Razor Viper cores. Puck, obviously meta, but those other two not. Now, EG, we've seen them dominate so hard with Alchemist. You've talked about it so much as well in the NA DPC. Gets countered with the PA pickup.
I think it's going to also be a very interesting finding out who gets first pick, who has to ban IO, who gets an extra ban basically. Because that is what we're at right now in terms of first ban materials. You don't ban out specific players. Well, you kind of are depending on the team, but you ban out the IO. Regardless, that is something that you don't want to let through. We're going to go take a break before the third game. Before we take that break, though, let me give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Logitech. That's the QR code that you can scan right now if you get out your phone in time before it disappears. And if you do so, you can go order yourself some of the Logitech G Pro gaming gear, and with every purchase you get yourself a Dota 2 pin, and make sure to check that out. And if you were too late scanning it, don't worry, there's a panel also somewhere below the stream if you're watching via Twitch that you can click and you go to the same link. So maybe that was an easier solution for a lot of you that just got your phone out. Who knows? At least you got something to do in the break. We'll be right back with more Dota 2 here at the One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major.
up with a slow motion crew, and we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak 'cause
Evil Geniuses and PSG LGD here in the upper bracket finals of the One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major. And for both of these teams, they've already secured $75,000 and more importantly, 400 DPC points. But it's starting to get to the point where those points, they're nice. They already got them. TI probably going their way in terms of that they get qualified for that with this result already. It's starting to go towards which team will take the championship. The last time North America won a major, oh wait, that was never. They did win a minor, that was in 2018, something like that. And then for China, the last time they won a major, it's been 2 years. It was the Stockholm Major 2019.
Vici, right?
It's been forever.
Was that Vici Gaming?
That was Vici
Yeah.
Gaming, yes.
Yeah, that was the famous minor into the major
Yeah.
run. Win the minor, go to major, win the major, yeah. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, am I right in saying like the points, 400 points, from 400 to 450 that they can win off of this doesn't matter as much as taking the title. Like, would you not rather be third than second?
Depends.
I mean, you can still get the points. I know.
Are you memed about or not?
The way the points go up is like, yeah, the difference was like, it's what, a 50-point increase is not like gonna, I mean, it could be a game changer, but for these teams, they're probably qualifying for TI already with this result. The prize money goes up very quickly, though.
Yeah.
That's something, you know, they've just got EG haven't been playing tournaments outside the DPC League, so, and like you say, it's all about bragging rights.
I think bragging rights is a major one for this one. We are waiting for the draft, of course, to start for the third game, and we're very curious to find out who's going to take a first pick, therefore who's going to get forced to ban out IO on the other side. And we're also curious to see the adjustments from the teams, because first phase Alchemist might just not work.
And for you in the chat, PSG LGD, they were instantly back into the lobby. They literally joined it the moment it was created. Meanwhile, on the side of EG, they were taking their time a little bit.
They were huddled around watching what I can only assume was last game's replay. Boba looked like was kind of pointing some things out about where things maybe went wrong, about mistakes to avoid.
Or maybe pointing something out that they can draft in the next game.
It looked like
ideas.
The way he was like moving looked like he was pointing at a replay. He was controlling the mouse as if he was clicking through.
So then it's safe to assume usually that happens when you want the same draft. When you're thinking, our draft wasn't the problem, I'm going to show you where you make these made these mistakes. Yeah. If you fix them, you will win the
I can assure you, EG do not think they got outdrafted. 100% EG is full confidence. Whether I think both teams had ways to win with their drafts, but EG probably feel like they had the better draft.
But it looked very solid at the start as well. But those type of mistakes, and we talked a little bit about the mistakes that we saw from RTC's side, you can't, you kind of got to maybe calculate a little bit for them, because you can't have a draft where you can't make a single mistake. It's very difficult for any top tier Dota team to make no mistake whatsoever in a game.
Yeah, and it's also very difficult to remain calm and cool-headed after dominating the lane so hard as Arteezy did. Like, let's be honest, he crushed them there. He got like a double kill. He had complete free fire. That was like a Battle Fury pre-10 minutes or something. And obviously, you feel like you're on top of your game, that you're the strongest hero in the game. And because of that, you might adjust your item build to be a little bit more active. I can't really blame him for the early Blink Dagger, because it allowed them to kill the Death Prophet on mid lane as well.
Yeah.
But PSG LGD, they found that crack in the armor, or let's say they had no armor and they abused it with a PA.
PA shred through them, yeah.
Same bans, Timber Enchantress.
Yeah, it's curious. The first pick goes the way of PSG LGD. Oh, not curious at all. So EG bans out IO. Yeah, my bad.
Exactly.
I think I saw wrong for a second. But yeah, that is expected.
That's pretty much the storyline right now. If you don't have the first pick, you have to ban out the IO, and now Evil Geniuses is thinking
Puck again?
whether to ban out the Puck or maybe DP even.
So
Puck.
They're going to ban Puck again. I'm curious to see, PSG LG, we don't expect any deviation from what they've done. They're going to go for the Death Prophet. Curious to see if EG stick with the Tusk, or if they, Crypt may just be saying, I want to play my Earth Spirit. It's his best hero. He is he's an amazing Tusk, but it's not his signature hero. Earth Spirit is. He is one of the best Earth Spirits.
I feel like Earth Spirit is definitely better on him, but maybe Tusk is better overall for your game.
Agreed.
Yeah, and if they leave Tusk in, there's also a chance PSG LGD picks it up next. So that's always a risk as well. We know ZenQ is quite the Tusk player.
Yep, he loves to play that hero. Also, one of the heroes that we haven't seen picked up by PSG LGD in that last game that would have been good is Oracle. So maybe something that they could flex around with, pick it. Oh, okay, completely different opening.
And it's funny because we see Crow on camera, he's not saying anything. So I'm like, no. Usually if they were talking about his hero, he'd be like saying something, giving some feedback. But EG decided to take a completely new approach. Beastmaster, to me, has been their most successful offlaner for Ice. And they're just happy to pick it up now, not even care that they're showing it. Well, I'm curious to see whether PSG LGD feel like they need to pick one of their Arme carries now that they know the matchup he might get.
Troll.
Are they going to? Yeah,
just go with the Troll versus the Beast in the lane as well. But
they've done that opener too before. I've seen them pick Death Prophet Troll as their first two and just reveal two cores and not care.
They have Monkey as well. That's a possibility, but maybe they'll move away from that because it is what Evil Geniuses are expecting. And they have proven that if they are expecting a pick, they will counter pick it properly because they prepared, right? For this series, they went through all the permutations. Look, if we can predict their picks, I'm sure Bulba and the boys can do the same thing.
It also says to me maybe EG are considering that Earth Spirit more. Otherwise, if they wanted the Tusk more, they would have just first picked it, denied it from LGD. So it's almost like, okay, we're going to give them the Tusk and we get the Earth Spirit now.
And this is a curveball you can see from Evil Geniuses because PSG LGD went deep into their reserve time. Elder Titan, their pickup. Okay.
Yep, 4 or 5 for them, leaving both Tusk and Earth Spirit in the pool.
One of the things that Beastmaster also, you have to think about PSG LGD. They love picking it. They also pick it and they've banned it once or twice. So because of that, Evil Geniuses, they secure it early on. I still don't necessarily think that it's the top tier first phase pick.
Okay.
But in this series, you can see that the meta has evolved in a different way.
Also, maybe don't want to fall into a trap from your opponent team.
Yes. I think one of the big advantages you can have from playing on the Radiant side is that ability to control Roche, and Beastmaster, one of the best heroes to do it. You just push out that top lane so well. You've got the vision from Hawk, the Necro 3 to de-ward. And I've seen these Radiant teams, like, even when they're behind, they just walk into Roche with a Beastmaster, Necro 3, attack Pure, and just take a free Roche.
And the Roche from previous game that we saw, the first one, was the deciding fight to see who would take the lead in the mid game, which in this case was PSG LGD, which they had the Beastmaster, of course.
Beastmaster plus Phoenix plus Troll, I believe, are on over 80% win rate at least in the tournament when picked together. So we have only the Beastmaster and the Phoenix. Sadly, the Troll is out. EG decide to get rid of him on their own. Alchemist Tusk, is this the Monkey King from EG? This is the Monkey King from EG, right? Let's pretend we're going to think about it for 20 extra seconds.
Yeah. Monkey King, we saw Terrorblade banned out, second phase, both games as well.
I actually don't. Yeah, it's Monkey King. I was gonna make a stand that Phoenix is pretty decent versus Monkey. You have the axes from the Beast, the Hogs, but no, you don't want to play against that.
You do not.
Yeah. Tusk banned out. Earth Spirit perhaps also from PSG LGD is an option.
Yep.
Are you worried at all for PSG LGD? Last time that they had to pick a hero that dealt with the Phoenix Egg, they were forced into Alina. Do you think that they should think about that
I think
aspect
Mirana.
of the draft beforehand?
I think Mirana for Zinq.
He's that may be a hero EG want to ban out because it has been one of Zinq's better heroes. It's kind of quietly been picked a number of times by him, and he's done very well on it.
Completely agree. Or maybe they can pick some core that deals with the egg as well. What comes to your mind is Juggernaut. Maybe a bit difficult versus Beast. Too many summons for the Omni Slash. Slows you in the lane. Roar through BKB. That is through the spin, which is all very good things, positives for Beast.
Also, EG themselves, I feel like Jug has been one of RTZ's better heroes. And from at least what we saw in Game 1, perhaps EG wants something a little bit faster paced. That's where at least they look to shine a bit more when playing PSG LGD.
PA still in the pool. If you want to crit a couple of times or hope that you crit again. That hero, like the moment I saw him crit 3 times in a row, I'm like, Dota wants him to win. That's what it is. It's like when the Spirit Breaker comes up to you and bashes you 3 times first thing in the lane, you're done mentally. It's over.
Dear Gaben, for the major, I would like.
I was gonna say when Gaben looks your way. Okay, so Tidehunter actually banned out by Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, let's see what they go for here.
Okay.
That Earth Spirit, by the way, still in the pool. I'm assuming we want Fly to play the Phoenix, and Earth Spirit would it still be a good option? It looks to be.
Why
a good
not?
option.
It's
they're
always a good
gonna go
option.
with it. Yeah.
When you have this guy called Crit on your team, it's
Tusk banned.
it's a fantastic option. And I think, PSGLG just, I guess, I'm not sure why they prioritize the Corp ban. Perhaps
just the matchup versus the Death Prophet. Yeah, I think that has to be it.
Oh, we're going fast.
Oh, Abed, this is, I think after his puck, his next best hero. He played it throughout the DPC because people weren't giving him the puck as much, but his puck is his Storm, is very scary.
They don't have a lot of catch on PSG LGD until Pango gets that blink. They do have a silence from that Prophet. So that's definitely not enough.
Yep.
You could go for a position 4. Shadow Shaman still in the pool. Lion still in the pool.
Yeah.
One of these 2 heroes could come in handy.
And do you want to see the Death Prophet against the Storm then? Like, are you kind of more sure the Death Prophet is a core, or?
Never mind. They want to crit again.
This time they don't have the heroes to buff up PA. This is something you always highlight, Liz. You want to see, last game they had the Beastmaster with Solar Crest and the Aura.
You have natural order. That's something.
But that's only when you get in close with the ET.
Yeah, it is something. It's not that bad. But like you said, no big buffs. But in that last game, they didn't have too many big ones, and it still worked out quite well.
Maybe this is the game for the Magnus. Magnus against Storm is okay, right? Until Storm gets 6.
Yeah,
it's
and
okay.
You're tanky enough throughout the game, right, for Storm to be solo killing you, but you are melee into all those remnants and whatnot.
Yeah, it is tricky definitely later on, and you will get ganked by the Earth Spirit. So
but
there's that.
Looking at this, so you guys are thinking Zinq position 4 Pango and offlane that Prophet. That's your way of right. If I get this right,
it could go both ways. It's still fairly open.
Yeah, because you're expecting a mid laner. I think maybe that Prophet is the mid lane, and you can see Evil Genius is banning out the Lycan.
I'm on board with the Death Prophet mid. That to me makes the most sense. I don't think there's an obvious mid laner to pick when you see the Storm on the other side.
And Nothing to Say has been pretty much outstanding on these heroes such as Death Prophet, Void Spirit, and Pax. So you picked one of those 3, just put them mid.
Does mean they don't have a great way of dealing with the Supernova, but I think you don't want to fall too much in that trap. That's what happened in Game 1, where they're like, wow, we got to get an egg here, let's pick this mid laner. And then suddenly you've picked something a bit off meta and something that can get punished.
Shadow Shaman banned out. Something that we talked about previously. Maybe a line that's still in the pool.
Yep.
Not my overall personal favorite. I love Shadow Shaman way more than the Lion. just from seeing teams, how they play out, and also Shadow Shaman brings those wars which can be a little bit pesky to deal with in team fights, also takes towers.
Would you still like to see an Oracle from PSG LGD as well? A hero that you mentioned at the start, but it would mean that ET is the 4?
Yeah, it would mean that TT is the 4, and also you're playing into a storm. Easy for him to jump on top of you, eliminate you first.
I think PSG really picked this ET for the Beastmaster lane. That's my impression, at least.
Okay.
Like, it was the immediate response when Beastmaster was picked up. They used a lot of reserve time. I think they just want to try and secure that lane a bit.
It's and the Phoenix is 5, so you don't really care about that. It can definitely work like that.
Okay, well, they have 50 seconds to decide and to make their choices in terms of who goes where.
Yeah, they have many different options.
Yeah,
here.
they really
many.
do.
The only locked in is Ame on the PA.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Every
true.
other hero you can flex it a bit.
Yeah.
But most likely offlane Pango, right? Let's see.
It will be the Willow coming out.
Okay.
Xingqiu's played that
Alright.
quite a little bit during the group stages. We haven't seen it on the main stage yet,
Yeah.
but he played it twice actually only. 1 win, 1 loss.
Yeah, but that's with Mars, right?
No, neither was with Mars. Neither was with
Once
Mars.
was with Puck, I want to say. I remember
Yes,
seeing
both of them were
Okay,
with
both
Puck.
with
Yeah.
Puck.
So
Yeah.
there was some synergy. Either it's with the Puck or with the Mars, because you can break the coil, or you can make them bonk their heads into the arena, which is nice.
I do like it. They needed more control for this storm up until like they picked the PA instead of that control hero because they wanted to get Ame's hero. But like you look at the rest of the draft and they don't have that reliable lockdown other than Pengo when he gets a blink dagger, maybe the Death Prophet silence, but it had something like that had to come out.
Oh, a Bloodseeker. So they just
Wow.
countered the Pango with their
Yeah.
last pick heavily.
And going away from going away from the game 2 playstyle, that big hard carry for Arteezy, they're going back to what worked in game 1, where he played the Razor. This time he's playing another more active carry hero.
Yeah, very interesting draft from Evil Geniuses, really.
The Bloodseeker also, I would say, pretty good matchup against PA. Like, you rupture the PA and suddenly PA can't really fight and maneuver. You want to kind of maneuver yourself around with that blink, and you can't really do that.
Yeah, have to be careful. Even with the talent, you're going to just kill yourself with Rupture.
It's 1-1 at
Hi,
the moment.
this is Lorenzo from Dota Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
I'm going to give them an edge with it, yeah.
I really think as well that TG do have the team fight composition to win it. Like your Earth Spirit Phoenix and Beastmaster are extremely strong right now. I'm not so sure about the Arteezy Bloodseeker versus the PA, but I will go with TG again.
I'm going to switch it up this time around. PSG LGD showed up last game, and I think they have a shot of doing that again. But I would also like to ask our one of our resident experts on the Chinese region, Lacoste, what do you think is going to happen this game?
I gotta say I like EG's a bit more draft, where like every single time I see a Pangolier who's not gonna have a good time, I feel like it's so hard to itemize. Like you're playing into Beastmaster, you're playing into Rupture. This Bloodseeker kind of countering 2 cores at once with Rupture. You know, you don't have 2 charges yet until you get the Aghanim Scepter, but you know, you're never gonna feel comfortable playing into that.
Give me a good case for PSG LGD, Owen, please.
They've got the PA again. I've got the PA again.
That's a good case. That's a good case.
It was, you know, last game I did think EG had the upper hand, but there was a PA, it was Arme, and he crushed them. And this time around, I think he's got some good things to fight around with. I think the ET could be pretty big. Maybe down the line they get that upgrade, so he's jumping into the front lines with the Spirit, and then you're going to be able to have that physical element, the armor element of the aura by the side of the PA. Arme could pop off again here, and it could be a bit of a scare for EG, just like it was in game 2.
All right, well, let's find out which one of these 2 teams will make it to the grand finals via the upper bracket. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, game 3, the deciding one. We're having some fantastic 3-game series today, and this certainly stepping up to be another one of them here. Is everything on the line as we'll see both teams, EG and PSG LGD, fight for that first spot in the grand finals. Lacoste, to sort of break it down a bit more, what are you excited to see from both of the squads here?
You know, you said the Ames Phantom Assassin. You know, this is not a hero that's very exciting. until she starts to drop some big crits. I'm really excited about Abed Storm Spirit. He really doesn't have too many counters in this game, you know. You're playing into root mechanic from the Dark Willow and 1 silence. So Abed should have a really, really good time.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you know, I was obviously asked to sort of talk up PSG LGD's potential, but I got to agree. I see Abed, I see Storm, and I sort of say good luck to whoever's playing against him. Abed's just been on these certain mid heroes.
That was the shortest pause ever.
Oh, yeah, what happened there?
Just a pause and go.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Nothing to see him. And back on with the action. But yeah, Abed Storm. I think big things could come out from him this game if all things go to plan. He's going to have a lot of freedom to zip-zap around, you know, once he gets that one defensive item. This may even be a game where he can get away with going for, like, the Orchid into Bloodstone.
Yeah.
I think he might be able to get Bloodstone early.
I don't mind that. You know, it just gives you a bit more tankiness. Fly on the bottom, dropping very low, has a healing salve to work with.
Now, what do you think about the lane subs this time round?
Bottom lane, I should be okay for EG, I would say. You know, against Pango, sometimes all it takes is one lucky shot proc, and then you can just completely dumpster your lane. Like, you get a proc on the first hit, you keep chasing, another proc. I want to see the way Jin Q is going to skill Dark Willow.
Okay.
I've seen, like, 2-1 build, which I like a bit more, like the longer duration Bramble Maze. And since you're not using, like, the Shadow Realm to deal the damage, or pretty much using Bramble to deal damage, lock them down, zone them out in certain areas. I want to see another point in Bramble Maze. On the top lane, we have Beastmaster against Earth Spirit. Crit, pull the lane back between Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower. 2 melee heroes playing into ET. This is kind of a standard build on Y, where he gets Orb of Venom, no Boots of Speed, a lot of slows. You know, these 2 heroes can slow them down. And this is the rotation that I like to see. Crit, hits level 2, rotates to the mid lane, pull. This should be the first blood.
Yeah, beautifully done. I feel if you're playing against CG, you've got to be prepared from that play. Pretty much every time at the 2-minute mark, nothing to say. He wasn't. He was not prepared at all. As Abed hits the 3, has the extra control, but the pull after Crit sets it up.
That's why he pulls the lane back between Tier 1 Tier 2 tower, gets level 2, and can pretty much immediately make that move. Abed gets the first blood, gets the bottle, not just bottle, he has a Null Talisman recipe, a Clarity, and a Mago, so they're setting him up for a really good game.
Secret was trying to find the courier up top. Don't quite get it. See the CS at the moment on the top lane. Arme not being slowed down at all. And I so struggling with the first few waves of CS against Arme. Seems to be having the upper hand here in the...
Crit took 1 lane. Like,
okay,
well, like
he
one
took
full
round.
wave. Yeah. That's why he doesn't have that much CS. Sharing is caring going.
Yeah, and especially when it's
Are
with
you a
someone
type
like
of a
Crit.
guy that just bangs out madly when the support steals 1 CS from them? Like, yeah, my game is ruined.
I mean, yes. I shouldn't have taken my CS. Bomb lane. So they get faked down. They got the blood right.
They got the silence.
I'm going to be able to run him down. That's a kill. There's a kill right there for Arteezy. Actually, I know it's not Fly. Actually gets the last one with the tick of damage. I thought, well, Arteezy actually got the hit in, but wasn't to be the case. Top lane Y. He's able to get away. Salve up. He'll be fine.
Crit going for the career kill. Rolls in. Easy peasy.
And how's things going in the mid? Still continuing to be very close. See Crit come in for the bottle refill.
Same stuff as game number 1, where they just allowing Abed to have a really, really good game. The rotation, Crit is gonna, you know, TP mid, try to just secure the bounty, sorry, the rune, but Jin Q gets it. He has also just got an Urn of Shadow, so more kill potential, but you still first need to get 1 kill.
Actually, I don't know if I missed that. I think they did actually mess up the bottle pass over, so Abed didn't actually get the bottle refill when Crit came in on mid. Bit of lost efficiency.
He was not
there.
TPing from...
I went TPing from base.
Yeah, he was not TPing from base.
I think Abed was disappointed. He
that
stood there
would be
like,
OP.
Well, yeah, any sort of TP refills it. No, just Abed sort of headed back to stand next to him. I think he was disappointed that he wasn't indeed coming from the fountain. See, 5-minute runes. If if either side's going to try and head over white. It's making moves down towards the bottom. I mean, him and Xingqiu should be able to stop Fly from getting in on the 2 bounties down here.
I can't really get there. Fly right now doing a really good job, just pulling the lane back, denying he stacked the small camp. Like, even if you do a half pull, it's still really worth it. We can see the XP difference already. Level 4.5 on Arteezy. Pango getting closer to level 4, but he's gonna hit like level 6 faster. One problem is that once Bloodseeker hits level 6, your position 5 does not provide you with any kind of stun, so they can TP out. Most likely Earth Spirit will try to TP rotate or just be there so that he can cancel the TP with the rolling boulder.
There's pressure starting to build up now in the top lane. With the 3 points in the ball, EG's going to have a bit of punch onto the tower. See how much the 2 of them could do to push him back and keep this place safe for Arme. Is Arme still able to find complete free farm up here on the top lane? As Crit will get that pull over to the side, so able to take a little bit away from Arme. The 6-minute rune. It's going to be down bottom again. Xingqiu coming in. No chance for Arbed to grab it.
They pull the lane, but Ame still gets all the CS. Will get level 6 in a couple of CS. Ame also having a really good time on the top lane. A bit more CS than Arteezy.
So we'll see what Arteezy's build-up is going to be this game. He's going to be getting the Maelstrom on the line. As mid lane, the pressure will now come in. 6 is hit on nothing to say.
Bramble does not connect. You can expect this rotation. Like, it's pretty textbook example when you're playing a Dead Prophet mid. You have a siege creep unit, you pop the exorcism, you rotate 1 or 2 supports, depending what they can do. There are no stacks yet. Abed was trying to figure out, you know, whether there are any stacks. Algorithm with the Storm Spirit. Can't find anything.
It was also able to, he grabbed the creep wave from behind the tower, so,
yeah.
So it takes away a good part of the push from PSG LGD. Stops them from being able to continue to hammer onto the tier 1 with the exorcism.
Bonk hits his head. Needs to use another zip.
Now, top lane now becoming a bit of a place that Arme doesn't feel too confident sticking around with. Now that Ice has hit the 6.
Arme is really good at understanding when he needs to go back to jungle.
Absolutely.
Like, he does not want to get pressured in the lane. Pretty much it's always like one dead possible. Like, even when he was playing the Monkey King in the first game, he died once in the laning stage, understands like, I'm level 4, I need to go back. Like, I don't feel safe here. I'm just gonna die, lose a lot of gold. Hawks got things out. Why? Yeah, this is an easy kill.
Ahmed and Crit straight in onto him. This tower has become already the place that PSG LGD are not going to want to try and hold on to. They're going to have to let this one go to the slow pressure from Ice's Beastmaster. Arme will find himself a DD. That will speed up his farming a little bit. Arteezy indeed queuing up the Maelstrom. Does have level 6, so could look to use the Rupture on Faith Beyond if he gets a +1 down here.
He needs Crit to be able to just stun him, Fade Beyond. Like, he can't use the Rolling Thunder during it and TP because he's still gonna die to it. Fly on the mid lane, collecting some XP. Like, if Storm is jungling, I like what EG's doing. You know, they are giving XP to their position 5, who has a lot of impact with his level 6. Crit will be the one taking the dome. And look at Crit, like, he's just gonna break that smoke. Why? It's like, what's happening? Is someone invis here? Did we check the rune?
Oh, it's a really good position for Crit to be in. They're not going to expect his positioning until they're still going to try and make the move onto Ice. Ice turns with a roar onto Faith Beyond, and he's going to try for the TP out, but yeah, Faith Beyond able to come out as the roar comes to an end and get the roll on.
First roll, they get a kill. Fate Beyond going into Yule Scepter to be able to get rid of those silences. There are 2 silences, 3 silences once Storm Spirit gets his Orchid up. And it kind of allows you to just stay 2.5 seconds in the air while the Rupture is going on. So I kind of like that. Even though I'm a big fan of the way 11 plays Pangolier, where he always pretty much goes for the same item build. Very greedy, but it pays off. Gets that Maelstrom, continues to farm up, then you can see him, you know, with the Blink Dagger, with the Yule Scepter, with the Shard, doing some really nasty things.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Pretty much most other Pangos As we're seeing here, Yules or Blink will be the rush. There's EG. Smoked up, Crit and Arbed leading the charge. See if they can get the jump. Straight up, they know. They know there's action here as they're in onto White. White taken down. The rest of PSG LGD having to back away. No chance of fighting into them whilst Arbed's got a lot of mana to play with.
Pressuring the tower, Beastmaster, Necro units are on the mid lane while he's farming the top. Ice 3 with some really nice moves. Ice Cube, as you like to call him, yeah.
No, Arbed. Enough to make a dive around mid, but it's being prepared for. White, Faith Beyond sitting safely behind, nothing to say. It's inside the jungle. And Xinkyu's going to be caught here by Crit and Fly. They're burning him with the Sunray. To be able to get away with the Shadow round.
Oh, he hit him.
The spirits are there. Supernova's out. They're going to try and take down the egg, and they'll just be able to do so. Faith Beyond sliding in with some extra hits.
He used it like straight away. He saw 2 heroes approaching. I can respect that. You know, if the 3rd hero didn't show, maybe they wouldn't have enough to actually bring it down. Another exorcism popped on the mid lane. Still running up for 10-15 seconds. Crit is there. He's ready to roll in.
PSG LGD just respecting that off the map of the Earth Spirit. They're not going to try poking at the tier 1 anymore. And they're happy as long as they can keep EG out of their jungle, make all the space in the world for Arme. And so far they are able to do so. Arme at that top spot in the net worth, making very good progress on the Battle Fury.
Arme really having a good game. Just needs 600 gold to finish off the Battle Fury. Has that Possessed Mask. Always going to be full HP, just farming with Blur right now. Still didn't see a big team fight. Everyone just feels safe, kind of farming. Storm Spirit wants to get his Orchid before he makes like a really big jump, possibly try to take the mid tower. Smoked, EG, Crit, and Arteezy. Arteezy a bit low on mana, has a Clarity in his backpack.
Has enough for all his spells, at least with the 1 charge.
Yeah, but what about 2 spells? Like, or use 1 spell 2 times? That sounds good.
They go mid. As the setup, Rupture and the kick. They'll avoid some of the damage with the Yules and healing up with the Siphon. But with that DD has more than enough damage to take Nothing to Say down. The 5 members of EG, it's time to push down the tier 1.
They rotate. They're here on the mid lane. Necrobook not even popped. He's saving it to be Necro 2. Courier flying out. And this is gonna give Abed a much needed gold to get that Orchid up online.
That's a solid timing. Same to be said for Arme. 12-minute Battle Fury done on the PA.
It's not a 9-minute Phase Boots Battle Fury. You know, Alchemist from the previous game, but this is a sick Battle Fury timing.
And hey, at the end of the day, the 9-minute Battle Fury didn't win the game. So maybe you don't want...
You're correct.
You know, maybe it's sometimes there's too fast. There's already Ice. It's got the catch on the Pango. Follow from Crit with the Necro Book down. The mana taken away. No chance for any sort of escape from Faith Beyond.
Another smoke. They want to use this Orchid. They want to get a big kill. Yule Scepter on that Prophet. Like, they want to find Ame. They don't have any vision of him. Is there a Hawk nearby? Not really.
If they can make that jump on the PA. But again, Ame, his game sense very good at this stage of the game. It's always incredibly hard for teams to find Ame. Even in the games where the teams are able to take down PSG LGD, it's normally through being able to find the catches outside of the PA or the carry Arme's playing itself. It's top lane Arbed. He'll be able to take down Y with enough burst. He's going to use the zip and the TP.
He's fine. Oh, Yule Scepter. That was so close. I actually feel he was close to using it.
That must have just been out of range. As we're now going to have Fly coming back in with the Supernova. Faith Beyond and Nothing to Say. They're trying to take it out. The Fear will push them back, but they don't have enough damage to take down the egg. As Fly will still be successful with the Supernova. Nothing to Say is going to continue to try and chase.
Crit still has his ulti. Level 8 as well, but no egg. Beastmaster has no mana for Roar. There's the Clarity. Someone said, here you go. So he will have enough. Ame just gonna go for the same item build. He went on Phantom Assassin. Battle Fury into Deso for some more damage, then into BKB. Is not the type of a guy that loves second item BKB.
Crit. He's in. Eels is going to get off, but nothing to say. He's going to go down as soon as he's out of the air. Does EG continue to do a good job of hunting down pretty much everyone other than Arme? So Arme is getting a lot of space. As EG, they've got to keep the pressure on and continue to try and take the rest of the map away. As the game goes on, this PA has the potential to be just as big of a scare as it was in Game 2.
And this time around, she's playing into like Rupture, something that she does not like to play into, wants to be maneuverable in the team fights with that Blink Strike. Next time they take a fight, if EG gets like 2 kills, they could potentially just go inside the pit, and we can see PSG LGD respecting the damage that they have from Roche, Beastmaster, Necrobook, using a scan inside to see what's happening. Nothing connected, so they're good.
See Arbed also picking up the arcane boots for now, knows that later he's going to be turning it into a Bloodstone. As he's actually going to look for the opening onto White. Damage from Fly. Enough to bring him down. Arbed soon to hit level 12 and able to keep himself aggressive on the map. It's easy. Working on the BKB. See here in the mid, ice, maybe see if he can find an opportunity for the Raw. Nothing to say, taking quite a bit of damage there as he takes out the Necro Books.
Jin-Q really not having a game. Like, they have only 2 kills, but didn't really feel the presence coming out from the Dark Willow. Like, there was 1 fear on the top lane and pretty much just the laning stage. One thing they could do, like, with the Terrorize, if they have good ways of protecting the egg, you know, just the blood right damage, roar, someone goes in. Still, they could try to use Terrorize around it and get the kill on the egg. Egg's still a big team fight ability from EG.
I think EG's got to be careful. They may be up 10-2. The Arme with the Desodon, like he's terrifying. He's at the point already where any hero that he jumps upon with backup from his team, he's going to be able to very likely kill within the duration of the boosted attack speed from the Phantom Strike.
Yeah, it's just so much damage coming up from the Phantom Assassin. Once you pick up that Deso, getting closer to level 15, they're inside the pit. They see that they kind of feel stronger with their team fights. No BKBs yet done on PSG LGD, so they're just going to run inside the pit. Necrobooks and the Boars, Beastmaster Aura, a lot of damage. Seems like they want to smoke and contest this. Who has the smoke? There it is.
It's not going to be nearly quick enough.
A bit too late.
Arbed, Aegis ready for the next fight. PSG LGD, even though they did smoke, they may be a bit more favorable to sort of just wait now, let Arme get the BKB. As already fighting against the Aegis is going to be very difficult. At the least I want to have that BKB, which is going to mean that, as you say, the Rupture and the Raw are teasing Ice, they'll have to save those ultimates for Arme. Otherwise, Arme's just going to have a free time jumping from target to target, doing an insane amount of damage with the crits.
So this will slow down like PSG LGD after they wanted to take that fight, but not there on time, so they need to slow it down. They will respect the Aegis coming out from the Storm Spirit. You said like itemization on the Storm Spirit might be a Bloodstone, but he does not want to risk anything. Yeah, no, just BKB is just a BKB.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing in so many of these games just the reach that the Death Prophet has with the silence, it just catches you out in most of the fights. It's very hard to avoid. And the cooldowns
covering the whole screen, pretty much, that silence. Top lane, Beastmaster again with the Necro units. It's so hard to maintain vision coming up from the Beastmaster, because if he scouts you out with the Hawk that you're planting out some observers, that's going to get dewarded, setting out the Necro units, and it also allows your position 4 and 5, like mostly 5, to get a bit more items, because he doesn't need to invest so much in the sentries since Beastmaster is dewarding a lot of the things. Pre-20-minute outpost taken by EG, so no XP for PSG LGD.
EG still with few moments that they can look to try and play aggressive with that Aegis on Abed. I won't be too scared to take a fight, especially with RTZ having the BKB now sent out.
They are ready. Like, EG wants to take a fight. They have Aegis on the Storm for another 2.5 minutes. BKB done on the Bloodseeker. Storm does not need a BKB yet because he has that Aegis, has a regeneration rune. Like, this is just star aligning pretty much for EG. But they still need to be careful. You know, the one good jump from Phantom Assassin, especially with the cast range on the Blink Strike. Level 15 talent. It's a lot of damage. Like, the cast range is insane. You can cut into backlines, possibly find the Phoenix. Problem is, they don't have too many ways to control the things. Fate Beyond will not be able to, you know, just jump in and do whatever he wants. If Arteezy sees him using the Rolling Thunder, there's gonna be Rupture on him. Either that or Aurora. So they have like 2 abilities that can stop the Rolling Thunder, which is pretty much their biggest teamfight ability besides Exorcism.
Yeah. At the same time, though, if Faith Beyond is able to tank those ultimates, it's going to give sort of free room for Arme to jump around the fight. You just got to be very, very smart with how they commit both of those onto the 2 cores.
Pretty much the whole triangle got devorted. So they can play safely here. PSG LGD, not sure they want to defend this tower. It's just another freebie.
Yeah, still very much respecting these moments whilst the Aegis is on EG. Avoiding every single fight. Arme, just 400 gold away from having the BKB. That really is what they want to get done before they feel the pressure to try and stand toe-to-toe against EG in the team fights. As well for EG. Abed.
They just swapped the places. Abed and Arteezy. This was Arteezy who was pushing the tower. Now he farms a bit of a jungle creeps, comes back in again. They do not want to collapse on this tier 2 tower, just controlling the triangle with the 3 other heroes. Beastmaster, one of the better ones, you know, with the Hawk, holding the high ground. Phoenix still needs a bit more level to get that level 2 Supernova, so that's going to be a big deal. They really don't have the egg hitters. Like, none of these heroes have enough attack speed to actually kill the egg.
22 minutes in, just 10-2. Definitely one of the slower games of the series. I mean, it does still feel like EG are ramping up at the pace they need to. They're taking these objectives.
He gets the jump.
So if they can get the kill before anything comes in return, they can. Shinkyu doesn't stand a chance. And in fact, over towards the mid-crit, he's able to set up onto Y.
He sees that Pango rolling.
Rupture onto Pango. Faith Beyond is helpless against the damage here from EG as they're up into the base. Double kill for Abed. As EG seek a perfect time to strike. The tier 2's down in the mid lane. They may even start knocking up at the high ground.
Yeah, they have 35 seconds. They saw Pangolier, you know, investing a lot of the gold, so they're thinking maybe he does not have a buyback, but yeah. Fate Beyond has a decent amount of farm, even after purchasing that Aghanim shard. Roll up, it's just so much damage.
We're going to see the attempt here to jump. Armed's already out with BKB and the zip. He's away. Armed, can he find another target during this duration of the BKB? He can. Over towards the Beastmaster he goes, jumps in onto Ice. So get one, but the rest of EG, they are completely out of there. As they get a tier 3, they do lose Ice for it. They force out a couple of BKBs, and they also force out the Exorcism. As PSG LGD have to commit both to push away the rest of EG.
Like, PSG LGD lineup is scary. Once ET starts to get levels, he put 4 points in Astral Spirit. Like, just wants to be able to deal damage. I would prefer if there's like 2 points in natural order, just because you're playing with Phantom Assassin, Dead Prophet, removing the percentage of their base armor. Once that's maxed out, that's 100%. So, like, they need to buy some extra armor. Then you're gonna feel the damage coming up from the Dead Prophet, minus armor from the Phantom Assassin. Also, we'll get closer to, you know, that level 18, level 20, big power spike for PA.
EG back to farming mode, really. I mean, they could definitely wait for the next Aegis. I think they'll still feel that they do have the better team fight around the pit at this stage of the game. I'm going to try and hit them up with the smoke. See if they could catch out Arme. Arme's BKB ready to pop yet again. Little bit of a window, though, with no Exorcism for a minute. Towards mid lane.
They got the
Arme's
jump.
going to show. They jump in. If they got the chain locked down, they get the vortex up. They pull him in. Arme's getting low. He's able to put the BKB turn towards the egg. Arme's able to take the egg off, jump to the side. He's still alive. Zip forward from Arme, though. He's looking to finish him off.
Miss.
The evasion. Arme's still up. He's still away over to the side. He goes to side,
Miss.
stopping the axis from coming up from Iso's eyes. But
He gets
Arteezy,
him.
he's diving in. Another jump. Arme still lives. The blood right's laid down, and the axis from Iso's eyes finally cut Arme down. There's Arme dead for a minute.
Nah, that missed chance was just way too high. He jumps in, uses a lot of mana. There's like no real follow-up. They did not have enough to bring her down. And Arteezy, he sees Pango rolling in. He's gonna pop that ulti on him. Might need to change things around. Like, one of these ultis need to land on a Phantom Assassin, either a Roar or a Rupture, maybe even two, considering how much damage Phantom Assassin does, and they still don't have a way of dealing with the evasion other than like Maelstrom, which is not that effective.
In the river, he's going to be able to find the setup on a Iso's eyes. Crit and Arteezy, they're looking for the counter play. Iso's eyes falling low. Can
Good
they keep
sun
Iso's
ray.
eyes alive? They can fly with the heals.
Roche will respawn in 2 minutes. Unfortunately for EG, if this was like a super fast respawn, they could have just taken it. Arteezy's super farmed. Like, they did not manage to bring him down, not even once, and he's gonna feel comfortable playing against Phantom Assassin, because this hero has a ton of armor, especially if you build him like this way. SNY, he's sitting at the 33 armor, so you really don't feel that Desolator.
We'll see it again here. They brought Arme so low to start things off. We've got to go back into real action, though, as the jump's already been made. They're moving in onto the Death Prophet. Arbed getting controlled by the control of this Rolling Thunder. Fabian trying to chase on, but there's still mana left on Arbed. He'll be fine, able to zip away if necessary. As EG, they'll lose crit. Won't be able to quite get anything in return for it this time. PSG LGD can keep themselves alive.
They use the scan. They think they're inside the pit. One play that I really like is like debating people, where you have your position 5 standing in the Roche pit, so they'll kind of use the scan, try to go on you while you're holding the high ground.
I mean, in Camo Cup, we've seen some teams utilizing that. Getting them to commit too aggressively into the pit whilst nobody's actually in there by the time they head over. ZG and PSG LGD very close to one another. EG still without crit for a few seconds. Arteezy is going to look to commit here onto YY, just getting taken down immediately. Arbed zips him with a finisher. He's over to nothing to say with the Vortex. They'll try and turn with the disarm onto Arbed, forcing him to ball lightning back to safety. Arteezy yet to commit with the Rupture, still holding on to it. PSG LGD back off. Crit making his way back over to rejoin the team. They're going to keep going for this. Nothing to say, popping the Exorcism, knowing that EG still wants to try and fight
like,
into this.
This is like a zoning Exorcism, because if they don't go for it, he was also really afraid of just getting jumped, possibly by the Earth Spirit, Beastmaster. So now they're looking for something. Roshan just spawned, scanned by EG. They have no wards. Like, they have no wards whatsoever on the map. Just Beastmaster taken care of. And look at the vision from EG. They see the high ground, they see the lane ward. Like, this is why they made such an aggressive move.
With no vision, no exorcism, getting over to Roche pit is pretty much impossible for PSG LGD. As EG, they'll have the Aegis and the Cheese ready for the next push. The Scald as well, Arteezy getting closer and closer towards the MKB.
No exorcism, like, this is their damage pretty much, you know. She's getting closer to level 18. Not the best exorcism, you know, you can try to justify. He definitely didn't misclick. He was like, we need to go.
No,
Like,
they
if
were
they go on
spooked, yeah.
us, if I get jumped, we have no save whatsoever. They have the BKBs, so I won't be able to save people with the Terrorize. Like, it's a risky one, you know.
On top crit. He's got the setup here as he's able to find Fabian on his way back towards the
Roll
base,
up.
but Fabian's got backup. Arme having to pop the cheese as the crits come in from Arme, but Arme has been ruptured. Rolling Thunder will hold back Arteezy for now, but they're diving in. The Supernova's out. Arme having to pop the BKB, get up to the high ground. Will turn, still having to stand the ground as the Rupture's still in Arteezy. Chasing on, looking towards him.
Arme.
The Supernova said he's going to be able to catch him as Arme steps back in range of it. Arme dead for over a minute, and EG, they're not done. They're going over towards Nothing to Say, chasing down the Death Prophet. The Fear will push back the two of them. Kick as well, separating him from Nothing to Say, but Arteezy ready to zip back in with the movement
Big
speed.
ET,
Nothing to Say goes down. Y also falls, 3 dead on PSG LGD.
They're just diving. ET, he buys back, but I don't think they can get any kills out of this.
See Fabian trying to jump forward. Arbed, still a bit of mana to play around with. So the roll up, Fabian keeps himself safe, but Arteezy still pretty much full HP, full mana.
And has that Aegis. He also has the Paladin Sword, so like the heals that are gonna come out of him are insane. they still have, you know, they just killed the Roshan. That's 3.5 minutes with Aegis. There's no tier 3 tower on a mid lane, so they're just going to go in and try to get some barracks.
And no Arme, no nothing to say here to come in with any defense depth for 20 seconds. They can get these racks. I mean, by the time of the next fight coming around, Arteezy will have the MKB complete. And then the life for Arme just gets even harder. Fabian trying to start with the roll in onto Arteezy.
Perfectly executed.
Get in there once. Can they go for it a second time? Arme's going to be back in a few seconds. And EG, they will respect that. They get the melee racks and they start to back off, knowing that PSG LGD is going to want to chase. PSG LGD have any catch, though? Doesn't seem to be. It's Arteezy too speedy. He's out of there. EG get the objective and they get back without losing anything other than the Aegis.
They got what they wanted. He definitely did not expect to get just stun locked there by Pangolier. One of the reasons like this build on Pangolier is so popular amongst the top tier Pangolier players. You get that shard, Blink Dagger, Yule Scepter, you can stun people 3 times in a row. It's like guaranteed 3 stuns.
And now with the MKB on Arteezy, how on earth do they protect Arme in these fights? Now, how do they stop Arteezy popping the BKB, Rupture or Raw being used to control Arme, and Arteezy just getting in the face of Arme and taking him out?
I think this time around, Bloodseeker will prioritize Ame as a Rupture target rather than going for the Pangolier.
Seems to be a very hard fight for Arme now. As Arteezy, he's ready to go. He's found his target, he's going to start things. Arme jumps over towards the side, but the Raw's out. After the BKB, Arteezy's in. Has he got enough damage? He's trying to bring down Arme. Can he do so in time for the MKB? He's getting the hits that he can. Brings down Arme. Arme dead for a minute. Over towards nothing to say. Arteezy chases on for the next. As there's 2 dead on PSG LGD, no buybacks on them. Nothing to say, also taken out. As Arteezy cleans them up with a double kill. The mid lane getting pushed in. With 3 dead on PSG LGD, EG have a huge window to take away multiple racks.
Well, let's see what the decision is. Like, they're just going to play it safe, you know. Pangolier being pinked out, Arteezy needs to be a bit careful. You know, they have no roar, they have no way of stopping him, so they're just going to go in and take the second barracks.
There's no way the PSG LGD can stop this push up top. The PSG LGD, they do at least have the tier 2 down bottom. But now 17k down.
Yeah, this MKB is such a valuable purchase because they use a bit of like anti-combo, you know. They use Rupture and the Roar, but it's still needed to just lock Phantom Assassin, a great egg coming out from Fly. But they don't have egg hitters. Like, that's one of the problems that they're facing, and they have so many things against the Pangolier. Now, like Arteezy, like he's just gonna be, I'll use that Rupture, you know. I'll use it on Phantom Assassin. I don't care about the other heroes pretty much.
Yeah, he's just so massive, Arteezy. And, you know, despite the farm that Arme has, it really does feel that what does he do? How on earth does he fight against the 5-man of VG? They always have an answer for him. Maybe when he gets the Satanic, if he gets the Satanic before the game's over, he can fight through the pain.
Tank him up. They also need like 1 Lotus Orb pre-cast on him to be able to deal with the Beastmaster Roar, with the Rupture, so Arteezy will need to think twice whether he needs to use it or not. Pangolier going for 1, Dead Prophet also going for 1, but still very far away from it. Dark Willow, Jinkyu, he just prioritizes every single time he plays the Willow. Aghanim Shard, the Cursed Crown, like it creates the Bramble, like even if it's dispelled, so that's pretty nice.
Basher done on Arteezy. As I mean, this game, it really does feel, you know, coming into game 1, PSG LGD, they show the Arme Monkey King, something that EG had obviously prepared for. Game 2, EG suffered with the PA, but just the adaptation and the way that EG is able to learn and improve happening between game 2 and game 3, where PSG LGD try the same approach with their carry. And in this game 3, EG show that just within those 2 games, they'd had the time to theorize and come in with something that's made this game incredibly hard for Arme to perform on.
Yeah, I went to my room to get some eye drops, and I saw them coming back. Like
Bulba
was very vocal, you know. He was he came prepared, like, and we can see why. You know, they came with the strat once again, similar to what they've been doing in game number 1, and it feels like it's just working out.
Yeah, it really is. 25-7, 18k lead for EG. As it really is hard to see what PSG LGD is going to be able to do to stop this from ending in another Evil Geniuses victory. As EG, they can play it calm if they want, wait for the next Roche. Of course, an all-important game. They get the win here, they'll be going straight on to the grand finals.
Minute 35 until Roche may respawn. Like, EG could potentially just take one more fight, see how it goes, you know, because they can respawn before, even if it's like the fastest Roche respawn, they can still contest it. Smoke from PSG LGD. They want to go from the back lines.
See if they catch anyone off guard. Scan will confirm that somebody's up here in the triangle. It is Abed on his own, but he's not an easy one to catch. I think they know, with the illusions coming out, they know that the hero over there was the Storm. They're not going to even attempt moving into the triangle to try and get the grab on him.
They're very limited how they can lock down the Storm Spirit. Also, one of the issues that they have, like they have a Silence, they have Rolling Thunder, but no real abilities that go through Magic Immunity. There is no Basher on Phantom Assassin, so if Storm Spirit has enough mana, he can just go in and out.
PSG LGD having to get back up to the base as EG bringing in all 3 lanes, preparing for the opportunity to strike for the Mega Creeps. Zame.
Lotus Orb is done on Pango, so like he needs to precast it on Phantom Assassin before the fight starts. Just have it ready. Another smoke.
I mean, they're trying to do their best to get some sort of a hit before Roche is up. Abed, very hard target to find though. And he's the only ever really the hero that's ever playing apart from the rest of the team.
Look at the drawings on the minimap from EG. They know exactly where LGD is.
Yeah,
where could they possibly be? Like they have
they're not
creeps
defending the base, yeah, the creeps.
Yeah, they have creeps in their base. Roshan is up. Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, PSG LGD's a little split. Why is Xingqiu and Faith Beyond still outside of the base? Faith Beyond's been ruptured. Arteezy moving in on him. Faith Beyond, look at the roller pop it up. It's already been able to pick up Y. An attempted TP out is made, but Ice puts a stop to it with the roar. Faith Beyond will die. As PSG LGD down 2 again, and Crit, he's ready to dive, see if he can catch more. Looks for Xingqiu. Able to dodge the blood right with the Yules. Xingqiu will live.
50 seconds without Fate Beyond. He does not have a buyback. He invested all of his gold into Lotus Orb so they can go in, get the cheese, get the Aegis, and then go for the one final push. Aghanim Scepter done on Storm Spirit. Arteezy will get the Aghanim Scepter from Roshan, so that kind of explains it. You know, have those 2 ruptures, one against the PA, one against the Pangolier. It's just a perfect gift from Gaben.
And again, I mean, PSG LGD are really trying their best to get out and find some sort of a jump, but they're just never quite able to do so. Aegis, the Aghanims on Arteezy, ready for the next fight. They do manage to get out, at least find themselves a timeless relic. They have the most to say.
Just cleans them up.
You can't come out of the base. You can't come out of the base right now. EG will just find you each and every time. 29k gold lead reaching upon here for EG. As it really is getting to the point where, I mean, it already has been for quite some time, that it's just a case of what on earth can PSG LGD do to turn this?
Yeah, I just don't see them killing an egg. Now Phoenix is level 18, Shiva's Guard is there as well. Like, I just don't see, like, Ame needs a Divine Rapier, but he needs it, like, right now.
Now with the Aegis and the cheese, EG, they're ready to try and push on for the Mega Creeps. See if PSG LGD are going to have any chance of pushing them back at all, because they're still so far behind. Arteezy nearly hitting 30k gold net worth. 6k ahead of that of Ame.
You need to be careful. Storm Spirit on the eggs of the Storm Spirit, like he gets a good jump, they're just gonna clean you up.
No, Fabian is Gonna try and start things. They get the jump in onto Arteezy, but the roar comes out onto Arme. Now Arteezy with the BKB is ready to turn. Moves it with the rupture. Arme's gone. Dead for 80. Over to nothing to say. Buys some time with the Yules. But Arteezy moves over towards Faith Behind. Arteezy getting stunned for the moment, but now he's ready to continue to fight on. Keeps beating into nothing to say. Takes down the Death Prophet, and now he's diving in towards the fountain. Over he goes towards Y. Y will slowly but surely fall, and maybe not the roots. Holding back Arteezy. Y. He's able to live. We'll get back towards the fountain. Arteezy's going to look to try and dive in onto nothing to say.
They just don't have enough damage. Ame is dead. The curse is broken.
They bring Arteezy down once. Can they do it a second time, though? Unlikely. He's put to sleep momentarily, Arteezy.
They also popped the glyph. He does not have a BKB, but they can start going in. They need to try to save him. Arteezy will actually drop.
Oh, or will he? He's still okay, he will. All right, I mean,
they didn't get the barracks.
They didn't. Wait, they didn't get the barracks?
No, I was just.
Oh, they didn't.
I
They
stood
didn't get
up.
the
I'm like,
barracks.
you know, they're just gonna go in and end the game. But that dive, you know, they're just keeping things interesting.
I
still
love
not
it.
broken.
Keeping it interesting. I like it. Yeah, the Rack's ignored. They go for the base dive, and it. I mean, the game
For the
isn't
fans,
over. The game isn't for the fans.
Like, this is what the fans want to see.
a bit of base diving.
So I mean, they lost the Aegis. They do not have it anymore. For the next fight, they will have 2 charges on that axe, so they can use 1 on Ame.
I mean, some people must have on PSG LGD probably got a bit of gold, bit of XP, right? What do we have? Nothing to say. Got 1,000 gold for ending the streak of Arteezy. So he's going to be well on the way towards the AC. We'll see this dive again.
That's a beautiful dive. It really is.
You see Fly, bless him. I think Fly's trying to hit the objectives. Somebody pinged on them as well. I think Fly was like, guys, can we get the megas?
Can we get back?
Like,
But
get
this like
back?
shard from Xinkyu, just holding him in place. He can't get out without a BKB.
I mean, of course, EG still in a very comfortable position, but if the game starts to turn around a bit from here, I mean, he's smiling now, Arteezy.
He's like, what did I just do?
I shouldn't laugh at that.
Did I? You know?
He realizes straight away. He's like, oh my goodness, this was quite an important game. Probably shouldn't.
Probably should not be doing that. Storm Spirit, he wants level 25.
Oh,
he
I
bought a
love it.
shard. He has the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
You know, 2 times overload, attack bounce, works with the Electric Ray of his shard.
I mean, if Ame gets the
Divine Rapier,
oh, I mean,
know.
Game 2 was a little bit of a, oh, we're winning and now we're not. If PSG LGD end up being able to take this, I mean, of course, it's very
still
far away.
32,000.
It's like it's a 1%. Maybe it's a 0.1%. But
can we see the graph?
Let's have a look at the graph. What has Gaben said after that?
They need, like, I think he's valuing.
I don't think we have
Assassin.
the graph. We don't have the graph.
We don't have the graph.
No.
Okay.
But
we have these 2 graphs. These are.
Oh no, we do have the graph.
We do.
2%.
It's 2%.
Oh, it went from, I think it went from 0% up to 2%.
That's a big change.
That's an infinite percentage of an increase to go up from 0%.
Storm Spirit still not 25. Has that arcane rune in the bottle, but they still have 2 barracks. And Ame is farming.
It's
like,
getting there.
He can sell the power treads. You know, he can get some extra gold from that. That's like 700 gold. Still needs to farm 2,000 gold.
Okay. Still a little on levels. Oh, careful, Ame. He's just jumped in. They were waiting. Ame's getting gone upon. He's gone. As Ame's dead, Ahmed zipping in over towards Y. The ghosts come out. As the buyback will be there as well from Ame. Crit rolling away. Fabian was ruptured, but EG playing it careful this time. They respect the buyback from Ame.
Ame's like, you want to throw the game? I'll show you how. Like, I'll go in, you know, I'll go for that creep wave. I think he was kind of afraid that Nothing to Say is going to nuke the creep wave and just get some CS.
I mean, we've all been there. You know, when that Death Prophet is looking at the creeps over your shoulder and you're like, oh, he's going to press it. Here we go, Ame. Oh, what's he doing? He's out and he's in. He's over to the side. BKB's up with the Supernova's down. He's got a rub, but he's been ruptured.
He has no HP,
Ame,
no satanic.
He's bleeding down low. He's going to stand his ground, but the Darbeck comes in with a zip on the back. He's found him with the Vortex. Arme getting low. Can he turn? He's still holding his ground. Jumps over towards the creeps. Trying to lifesteal his way back up. Arteezy getting him with a bash. Arteezy getting side for low, but he brings down Arme. That's Arme dead for 2 minutes, but Arteezy, he'll fall in return. The buyback's coming out, but there's no buyback available from Arteezy. Zip forward. Arme with a 3-man Vortex drags them in. Buyback is available wide, but Arme brings nothing to say low. BKB's out, but nothing to say. Will fall. Arme in onto the high ground over to Fate behind. Triple kill for Arme. Raw from Ice. They're moving on to Y. He fought back for this. He'll get taken down. Faith behind the last one left standing as Crit rolls in with the stun over towards the Pango. It's game over as Arbed's done with it all. Ultra kill for the Storm. GG it's called. Evil Geniuses are going straight to the grand finals.
Finally, you know, they've made it. It might be their major. You know, they tried to throw the game there a bit, did not succeed. Abed says, you know, I'll go in. Also, like, that mistake from Ahmed. He could have possibly, you know, had that buyback.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Is like top tiered, like they seem prepared, you know, they came here, they came ready to play, and this is some top tier performance coming out from them.
Yeah, right up until the end of this series. Again, as I said, just a very impressive adaptation. You know, PSG LGD trying to get a step ahead, changing things up. Arme with the PA in game 2 has an incredible game, but already by the next game in the series, Evil Geniuses already had an excellent idea to deal with it.
Yeah, they had the plans ready. Like, you could feel them coming into this third game prepared. Like, they came also very prepared for the game 1 against the Monkey King. Like, second game was kind of a meh. You know, they also had it in the bag, a bit of a throw, but still strong performance overall.
Absolutely, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Evil Geniuses moving on straight to the grand finals as they'll knock down PSG LGD to the lower bracket here. 2-1 for EG.
Thank you, Odie Pixel on the cost. That was fantastic. I was really a little bit worried for all the EG fans out there. They're in the last 5-minute gods.
That's one. If they had let get away, they would never get to forget.
Yeah, no, and they would not be able to let.
What was your tweet? When did
EG lost the road? There's a great website, you know, EG. They've been around such a long time, and you know. Yeah. Play enough games, you're going to throw a game or two. This one, not one of them. EG on top of it.
They tried a little bit with the fountain farming and whatnot, but yeah, sometimes you just get stuck in the brambles around the fountain. You can't leave even if you wanted to.
Hashtag for the fans, Lizard.
Yeah. Abed, however, for the fans on his Storm Spirit just takes this game. Arteezy, he was definitely doing a lot of work on his Bloodseeker, rupturing a target or two. Pangolier, PA, they suffered against the multiple ruptures that Arteezy was dishing out in the team fights. However, Abed with his Storm Spirit was really controlling the game.
Yeah, this whole game started really well from Evil Geniuses. Crit's Earth Spirit helping secure that first blood indeed, and I kind of feel like the game spiraled from there. Yes, there were some throwy moments like this one on the screen right there with maybe somewhat worried reaction there.
It's like, oh god, I don't want to know what Reddit or Twitter's going to say about that one.
At this point, they were 30k gold ahead, and it is very difficult to still throw a game from that position. But it's possible.
It's always possible. If RNG gods look the way of PA, suddenly you're getting those crits.
But it was EG ahead the whole game, though. They definitely earned this victory of the game, but also of the series. They looked to be the better team.
And we saw, I just feel like how good the adjustments were with the draft. This game going for the Bloodseeker, it just ruined the PA's game in those team fights. Wasn't even like prioritizing the Pango that much when it came to rupturing targets. Drafts for EG, considering they only played 4 scrims like the last month coming in this tournament, was what Crit said, were just amazing. Yeah,
the preparation was on point. You can't make this excuse. We didn't play enough games. We don't know what's good, what's bad. You're watching the major. You see everything that's being picked up. And so far, EG, I think they've looked the cleanest.
I think that is the right word. We heard Parker say it multiple times already. EG just look very clean, and I think there's no other team that we can say that from, right? Is there any team that comes close?
Look at this pride in Parker's eyes. That's all I want to. I want to talk about this smug. This like, yeah, and
the thing I love about EG is, there's a lot of SEA Dota fans out there who are kind of sad that Neon got knocked down Fnatic so badly. EG, two of the most historic, famous players in SEA Dota, Abed and Ice, carrying the SEA crown as well. It's this,
they jumped. Yeah, they jumped on that EG ship real fast.
A lot of SEA fans, I think, were already there as well because of just how amazing those guys are. But, EG, they showed up to play. It's great to see.
And a phenomenal performance overall. Abbott probably the MVP of the series.
For sure.
From that game one puck without the death into this last game on the Storm Spirits. It feels like meta is, as much as it has taken care of Crit, it's also taking care of Abbott with the heroes that he likes to play and the heroes that are buffed up right now. Yeah,
the combination works really well. Abed, as you said, Lizard, MVP. I think there were a lot of people still a little wondering, yes, Ame threw a little bit at the end there, and then still PSG LGD got some kills on the side of EG, but Abed saved the day, and he's just like, no, there's not going to be any chance for throwing today. He made sure that they secured that victory there at the end, and overall, it was just really solid play. And I think, we give a lot of credit. We give a lot of credit to the players playing the game, and we should, because they are playing really, really well. But would they be able to play as well if they didn't have a coach to guide them through a series like this? And one of the coaches is with us right now. Not just one of the coaches, this is the coach of EG. Hey, Bulba.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty happy.
Congratulations.
Very happy,
Congratulations, yes. I want to know, like, you coming in here for the playoffs, you missed group stages, you missed wildcards. I want to know your perspective as a coach, because there is so much Dota being played, and you can't watch everything at the same time. Well, you can try, but it's pretty difficult, I would imagine. But how do you deal with that as a coach?
I try to watch as many games as I can. Thankfully, there's a replay function, so I try and usually watch the replays of the teams we play. It's just, that's kind of all it is. There's a lot of games, but usually we try and watch a game together at the same time. So like we focus on one game.
Do you have? Do you feel like the group stages has had an impact on your drafting for the playoffs? Like a big impact on what you play?
Maybe a little. I mean, we talk a lot every day, so things can change, but not too much, I think. Everyone kind of had their own style coming into this tournament from each region. So it was like the first time that all the regions came together, and yeah, there was like different picks everywhere. So,
how certain were you that they're gonna pick the Monkey King if you give it to them, if you don't ban it out?
Yeah, the first game?
Yeah.
Very high chance. Like we knew it was coming.
So the whole draft with the Viper, the Razor, probably well prepared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the second game? I'm wondering, do you consider that draft a win, or maybe after seeing it play out, not as much?
I think we were winning like pretty hard. I think there were just some things we had to fix for going into the third game, especially versus LGD. But I think based on how the game was going at some point, I think we had a pretty good lead. Just some things happened. So we talked about it and we fixed stuff for the next game.
Were you sweating it all during Game 3 when your team got a little close to the fountain? No. Anything to say to Arteezy there?
No, the game was like really hard to lose at that point. I don't think we could have lost. So it was, yeah, I didn't even see it closely because we were coming down because we thought the game was over. So.
That would have been an unfortunate surprise if that wasn't. Boba, you're typically fairly critical of your own team. I think as a coach you kind of have to be as well. If you see yourself winning TI with this squad, and TI is 100% top performance, how would you say the percentage is right now?
It's like right now for me, like I'm just really happy to be here. I think like one thing this year taught me as well as like my team, I think, is like it's really easy to get taken everything for granted, especially like as a pro player life and like traveling, and it becomes kind of your routine. And then suddenly when it was all taken away last year, we didn't even know when it was going to come back. it's really hard. And I think people love to whine and complain about things, but I'm really grateful that we were able to go to a LAN. I'm really thankful to Valve, I'm thankful to PGL, and I'm thankful to One Esports, because like this game is like all that matters, and we're just taking one thing at a time. We're just happy to be here. TI is like obviously down the line, but like I'm just so happy to see beautiful Dota again, especially in like a LAN tournament with like all the teams, because that's all like my life is. I just love Dota.
And it shows, and I think you're speaking on behalf of so many people well here and also so many people watching. I have one more game-related question. This was a very intense series for you guys. In between games, don't have a lot of time. What is your focus on for this series specifically?
Usually just something like me and Fly will talk. We'll talk together with the team. Not too much. It just depends on the game, how they go, whether it's a win or a loss. So it's hard to say specifically what it is, but just like depending on the game, like after game one. I don't want to say, can't say too much about the Dota in the game, but you know, just like it'll depend. Sometimes it's good to say a lot, sometimes it's good to say a little. It just depends on the situation.
No, that is fair enough. Then I'll have one final question. I would like some insight. If you are willing to give it, obviously you just faced PSG LGD. You have faced IG. I'm sure you've looked at Team Secret play. I would like to know your opinion on the upcoming series we have, IG versus Team Secret, and also on who you think you'll face in the grand finals.
IG versus Secret. Like I said, it's hard to tell. Like I think it would be fun to have a rematch of the Germany Major finals last year, where it was us and Secret. They're always really fun to play. They're always like a really fun, like, you know, last year I think even though we lost, we were really happy after the tournament because it was just really fun to play that team. They play very good Dota, especially when it matters. So I think it would be fun to play Secret in the finals. I'm not sure who would win the matchup because, like I said, it depends on what happens in the game. But I would love to play Secret in the finals. That was basically it.
I think a lot of people would be happy if that rematch goes to the full 5 games as well. I remember that finals. It was top tier Dota. Such a pleasure to watch, and I'm sure that regardless of who you're facing tomorrow, it will be top tier Dota, and it will be a pleasure to watch because it was. Once again, Boba, congratulations on the series and making it to the grand finals. Gonna let you get back to your team and celebrate and rest, of course.
Thank you. My glasses are fogging up.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.